Hello everybody, I am Grandmaster David Anton Guijarro.
I'm Magnus Carlsen.
My name is Anders Giri. I am a top grandmaster.
I'm Grandmaster Nils Grandelius from Sweden.
I am Grandmaster Harikrishna Pendala from India.
Wow, for one split second, the position completely turned. Oh, well, I don't see a move, but Freddy does see a move because bishop takes b3. Who is the gentleman or lady under that dummy mask? Whew. What a game.
Now anyone can learn and improve their chess skills with the world champion, Magnus Carlsen. The Magnus Trainer app is packed with fun mini-games and interactive training content. Playable anytime, anywhere. Get the Magnus Trainer, available in the App Store and Google Play.
Seriously? Checkmate! Aimchess is an intelligent system that analyzes your game, prevents mistakes, and develops recommendations for improving your skill. Phew!
I'm ahead of the game.
Remember who am I? I'm a boss and I'm honestly off my rocker, but follow me, I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game. I'm only ever slinging, I'm working overtime. Got a song and I'm the singer, the melody, the vibe. I'm a prodigy, logically, I'm impossibly wanted, and they'll remember my name. They'll remember my name. Ooh, well, I'm ahead now. I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game. Ooh, well, I'm ahead now. I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game. Well, I'm ahead now. Well, I'm ahead now. I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game.
Hi there, it's me, John Chess, inventor of chess. And are you sick of sucking at chess? Well, lucky for you, I have also invented Aimchess. Look at this chess puzzle. Did you solve it? Of course not, that's because you're not using Aimchess. Aimchess is a digital chess trainer that helps you improve by creating unique lessons based on your recent games. Just link your chess.com or VChess account and feel that brain wrinkle. Yeah, see, you shouldn't have blundered your queen just there. Now I know! Thanks, Aimchess! Now all that's left to figure out is how that funny horse moves. They even got acquired by that one chess player other than Hikaru, so you know it's good. Hi, it's me, that guy I just mentioned, and I am the best chess man in the world. But thanks to Aimchess, I also have a girlfriend now as well. This could be you! Personalized training, game reports and analysis disease, study plans, thick, luscious hair, intuition builder, all this and more available on Aimchess.
Hello?
Courtney, did you know that Aimchess users improve their ratings 43% faster than average?
What?
So what are you waiting for? Join Aimchess today. Links will be somewhere, probably. I don't know, I just made the video. Aimchess. Sign up now and get 50k silver and 2 free months off your VPN. Now that's what I call a Queen's Gambit. That's so fucking dumb. Aimchess, for when you aim to chess. That's their slogan. It's what they say. Ready, aim, chess. That's another. Look, just sign up for Aimchess, okay? Just, come on, literally, why not? Alright, just stop being a dick for like 5 seconds and just go, alright? Jesus Christ.
As a kid, I spent hours every day reading about chess, about opening.
Hello everyone, I'm Grandmaster Pragyananda. Do you want to use my games to improve your chess? Now you can do. We have handpicked 50 puzzles from my games played in Champions Chess Tour this season.
I went Bishop c5, d4 and Queen e4. Yeah, another crucial win for the qualifications to top 8.
You can download it for free just by going to chess24.com/puzzlepack. Enjoy solving.
Welcome everybody! My name is Jan-Krzysztof, former world chess champion.
Are starting a new course here for Chessable.
A very special Chessable course.
Master your chess with Judith Polgar.
You know what? I learned a lot.
Hi, I'm John Chess, inventor of chess, and also your new stepdad. And we're very disappointed in you, son and or daughter, because you suck at chess. And so that is why you have to now sign up for Aimchess. Aimchess is a digital chess trainer that creates personalized lessons based on positions from your own games, and turns your blunders into wonders. Link your Chess24 account or other online chess accounts today, and learn the official Aimchess Gambit, which is where you take your opponent's king, and then you just f***ing eat it. I didn't know I was gonna say that. In-depth analysis, tactics trainer, blunderer, preventerer, whatever the f*** this is. And a new, personalized feed full of curated chess puzzles and memes. All of this and more available only at Aimchess.
Hello?
Courtney, did you know that the average Aimchess user—
Oh my god, stop calling me about fucking Aimchess!
You heard it here first. Join Aimchess today and become the world's greatest chess man in the world. Or chess woman? Hi, I'm Magnus Carlsen. I'm Magnus Carlsen, and I own Aimchess. But now you are a Magnus Carlsen instead, because you beat me at chess because of Aimchess. That's right, you dumb piece of Aimchess. They asked me to cut that last bit, but I won't. Get 6 months premium free by typing your credit card details, name, and full home address in the comments down below. Aimchess. They put the based in turn-based strategy. Why the f*** do you keep paying me for these? Aimchess. It stands for aim chess. Oh shit, I'm out of time. Sign up for Aimchess!
Quality isn't the first thing that comes to mind when you think about chess and esports, but it affects our focus, decision-making, health, sleep, and more. What's in the air you breathe? Find out with Air Things.
played the Berlin, which I sort of expected, but I didn't really know what to do against, because in reality very few people do.
When we are playing an even game against someone of similar strength to us, usually we need to give something in order to obtain the initiative.
Just how shrewd and cunning Alireza can be, even with very little time.
I want to show you a game just to prove that I play these lines that I played against former world number 2 and a bit of a superstar, Gata Kamsky.
Time to take control of your journey towards chess mastery. Magnus Carlsen introduces Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Move Trainer uses the science of spaced repetition to identify your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. There's no need to set up a board, remember which page you're on, or keep track of all the moves you miss. Get started now and join our growing community of over 100,000 chess enthusiasts. Chessable, take control of your journey towards chess mastery.
Gains that confidence, plays a few good events, stops looking inwards into his own insecurities.
I like the no expectation part, so like that's something that has gotten better because sure, it's like not my full-time job.
It's definitely good for chess in India, and now there is Olympiad also, so there'll be more people following and taking up chess as professional sport.
Yeah.
And it's surprisingly concrete still, no? Like, e takes d4, good move, this d takes d4, the d takes d5.
This line was essential and forced, but also not rocket science to map out.
This is John. John loves to study chess. This is David. David loves to study chess as well, but efficiently. John spends more time setting up the board and figuring out what's on the page of his book than he gets to study. David likes to take it easy and use his time wisely. David has finished his exercise for today. John should try the same.
I'm going to talk about my games from this season of the Meltwater Champions Chess Tour.
The idea of h4 is very direct. I want to play h5, open up the king side, and potentially check my team.
Alan continued with trying to put some pressure here on the e6 pawn.
And c5, knight's doing a great job here, both potentially for some attacking ideas, but also defending the e6 pawn.
Rook g8 still doesn't spoil anything, but rook takes g7 is a gross mistake now, because rook c8 is still easily winning.
Welcome to day 2 of the final of the Aimchess Rapid. We have Jan-Krzysztof Duda playing against Shahriar Mamedyarov in set 1, day 1. Jan-Krzysztof Duda won convincingly. The question is, can he repeat it? Can he do it? Can he finish it off in day 2? My co-commentator is here. Simon, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Danny. Yeah, all good. Looking forward to the last day of this Aimchess event. Yesterday was great fun, wasn't it? I mean, the games are brilliant. Duda was exceptional. I think, as you mentioned, Danny, I mean, his play was really just high standard and exciting as well. But we all know what Shaq is capable of, so I think we can be in for another exciting day.
Yeah, definitely. He's not the kind of player that just lies down and takes it. So he's going to hit back whatever. And we saw a taste of that in one of the games that was just absolutely fascinating, where Shaq did his trademark queenside castling and just went for it on the king side. But cool defense from Jan-Krzysztof.
Definitely. I mean, that was a very exciting game, that one. I mean, castling queenside was quite dubious, wasn't it? I mean, had Duda found the right moves, it was probably actually losing for Shaq. But you were it was quite funny. You were kind of predicting that the whole way through the match, Danny. You kept saying, "Is Shaq going to castle here queenside in game 1?" I think every game, eventually he did. So it was like you had some Nostradamus kind of mystical ball there. Seeing what Shaq was going for.
I was egging him on. I think
you were egging him on. Yes,
yeah.
That was it.
No, that's what we're looking for. It's a trademark Shaq move, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see definitely some of that. But yeah, I mean, just a reminder to everyone of the rules here. So Duda has won the first set of 4 games. So it means that Shaq has to win this second set. And if he wins the second set, then we go into the blitz tiebreak. And if that is level, then it goes into an Armageddon. Okay, once we get to that, we'll go through the rules in detail. But first of all, Shaq has to win this set of 4 games. And Duda, he just needs 2 points. If he gets to 2-all, he wins the set. The set is drawn, and so he just needs a 2-all to actually win the whole thing. So the odds are in Duda's favor. So Shaq has to have a clean win in this second set. Interesting stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's been very interesting tournaments. I mean, Simon, can you sort of, apart from the final, can you pick out a highlight for us? What's struck you about the tournament so far?
I think I mentioned it yesterday. Really, this. I mean, game wise, if you haven't seen this win that Shaq had with, I think it was Rook takes H2.
Yes.
I think it was this move. This was a brilliant game. Did you cover it on your YouTube channel, Danny?
Do you know what? Game? I didn't. No, I think I will. I was actually looking at the US Championship games,
right?
Which was actually really exciting. But I'm sure I will turn to some of these games. And yeah, Rook H2 was fantastic, and
it was beautiful. That, I mean, just that move, Danny. I mean, just it was one of those moves where you're just not looking at any defensive measures. You're just going for the king. It was pure brutal, and I love that way of playing. And I know Shaq does as well. So yeah, that was brilliant for me, Danny. And I suppose that's the highlight so far for me, anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, there's another Shaq attack as well where he destroyed Giri. Absolutely brilliant. And again, it was a queenside castling game. And in fact, there was another Shaq game, except he was on the losing end. There's the game that he played against Abdusatorov was just Abdus Satorov played brilliantly.
I mean, Danny, it's us. I remember that game, but it's so. I mean, we've both commentated at a lot of these events, and I think now they're getting the winning formula. Invite the right players.
Yeah.
You know, to have a brilliant event, which is great for spectators, you need to have the right players. You know, you don't want players who are going to regularly draw quickly. You want to have exciting players, and you want to give new players an opportunity as well, I think. And I'm very glad that it's evolving like that, Danny. You know, this event.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, Abdus Satorov. You know, he's one player. We have the Indian kids, Eric Icy, Gukesh, Prag. You know, and I mean, there could be others. I mean, Nihal Sarin. They're all really uncompromising. Not just uncompromising, they deserve to be there. You know, they're strong enough now. It's not like they're promising. You know, they are delivering as well. So, and I totally agree. You know, I think it's quite clear over the last few months we're basically seeing a changing of the generations. With, you know, this Uzbekistan, the young Uzbekistan team winning the Olympiad, and the Indians as well. But you know, there are strong kids coming up all over the place. I mean, do you have a particular one who you think might be destined for the top? Is there one you'd pick out?
There's so many, Danny. There's so many talented. I'm going to call them kids. I don't know if kids is the right word, but so many talented youngsters who have come through, and it's so hard to pick one. You mentioned many of them there, Danny. You got the Indians, you got the so many players. But we're off with game one here anyway, so I'll let you get into that.
Okay, so it's Duda with white, and actually, it's not quite the same as the other day. We had this the other day with this pawn back on d2. So, I mean, I think we mentioned at the time, if Duda played it in a very adventurous way last time with the pawn on d2 and going for that early knight e5 and f4, and actually brilliant game. Yeah. But this he's playing in a more orthodox way by playing the pawn to d4, and I think there's a good reason for that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, just the match situation. If we think about what Duda needs to do today, he only needs to draw every game, and he's won. So with the white pieces, there's no point going super aggressive. I mean, you can try to get a small advantage, which you're trying to do with this setup. You're not taking any risks, and with a player like Mamedyarov, I think you can hope that they overextend, you know, because they have to win a game. You know, Mamedyarov has to win a game today in order to take it to playoffs. So it seems like a fairly sensible approach to the match situation, Danny.
Definitely. I mean, it's not like this guarantees a draw for anyone, or, you know, for white. And there we go. That's the move I was about to just mention, because just chips away at that pawn on b5. And if it advances, then that gives the knight a square to hop into on c4. So I think this is a way of for Duda to play to get a slight advantage without any risk at all. And yeah, I think that's good match strategy. You know, why not go for a slight advantage? And actually, I think it's a good way of frustrating Shaq, you know, who likes, you know, double-edged positions. You know, he wants the initiative. So yeah, I mean, this could just be a very clever way for Duda to play.
Yeah, I totally agree. Very sensible moves. It's quite funny. I think you pretty much predicted this position yesterday as a possibility in this variation. It is a little bit more solid than the other lines, but all the pieces are on the board. Only one pawn has been exchanged, so there's a lot of play. I always find these positions, Danny, really hard to understand, actually, with the white. You know, I get this position quite often with white when they play this line, and I'm always a bit uncomfortable about where to put my bits. But one thing I did realize is that a problem for white, I mean, there's lots of, I think, positives you can see in white's position. You can see he's got a lovely square for his knight. There it goes. His bishop is cutting across towards black's king. He has this pawn in the center. There's quite a lot of obvious positives. But one thing I noticed when I played this as white, Danny, is that the b3 pawn can be incredibly weak in the ending, and also the c3 square can be a real issue if black gets a knight in there, as you're showing here. And these things, like, you know, they might not seem important at the moment, but let's imagine the dark square bishops get exchanged. It can really be quite problematic in the ending for white, this kind of structure. That's just something I've sort of realized from playing this myself.
Yeah, definitely. That's one to watch out for. But I mean, I think so long as white is aware of that, should be okay. Knight e5 looks very natural. I like that because prepares to play bishop f3. This is a great piece on b7. I think exchanging it off, I think it's not just about exchanging off an active piece. It'll give white's queen a square on f3, or even maybe just e2, and then you connect the rooks. One thing that slightly concerns me is, where is black's queen going to go? Black's queen needs a square off the back rank so the rooks can be connected. At the moment, that knight here covers these squares. c7 isn't looking very nice because the rook would be on it. So that's the problem that Shaq has to solve. Whereas I think for Duda, it's a lot easier. That queen can come into the game once bishop f3 comes. So
I agree.
Watch out for that one. I think.
Yeah. What do you capture on d4 with? This is actually quite interesting because, I mean, there's an argument to take with a pawn, but that's risky because you give yourself a weak pawn, but you control, you know, some more squares like c5 with a pawn, which could be a good square for black.
Yeah.
Or you could try to play it safer and take with a piece on d4. And I have to admit, I'm not really sure which one I would go for here. I think I'd be more tempted to take with a piece to try and play risk-free.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if it's the right decision.
I was just looking at queen takes actually, which is a bit bonkers. But then, you know, coming back to your thought about the pawn on b3, that, you know, that immediately highlights the issues. Otherwise, I'd like to do that to put my, you know, rook in the middle. So I mean, presumably bishop takes.
Yep, bishop takes does make sense. I mean, black's pieces have good squares as well, don't they? This is why I find these positions very hard to play, because it's what pieces do you exchange, what squares, and even here, you know, now black has the downside of taking with a piece on d4 is black has the c5 square, as you've shown, that, you know, a knight coming in there, it's a little bit annoying. You know, you're attacking b3 a bit, you're putting a bit of pressure on that square, and it's a beautiful square for a piece. So
yeah.
Maybe they're just going to take with a pawn then, but then his bishop becomes bad, you know?
Yeah, but it might, I mean, as you say, that pawn does control the c5 square. It's not beautiful, but it does give white some security. So, you know, we might see something like knight d5, but then bishop f3. I mean, one feels that with a solid square for the knight, it should be okay for black. But white's pieces look really nice as well. I mean, I guess it's about equal.
Yeah.
But it's still lots. I mean, there's lots of intrigue there. You know, I'm not surprised that Duda is having a very good think here.
Yeah, I mean, there's even an argument to maybe take on d7, because we saw how strong the black knight became in that last line. I mean, do you just ask the question? Because if black now takes to the queen,
he's done it. He's done it.
Okay, yeah,
I mean,
very
nice. So if he takes with the queen,
well, there's knight b6 even, isn't there? Yeah,
knight b6.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Takes here.
Even the ending could be. Well, I don't know. I never like these endings. This is where I've lost lots of games because of my b3 pawn. But so now, yeah, maybe queen takes is playable. I mean, how is that? I don't know. This might be something for white, could it be? Because white's knight gets in first. It's quite hard to tell. Bishop takes, and I'm now trying to play maybe knight a5 here, Danny, because the a6 pawn is my real target, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's my next move.
I wonder whether there's bishop d5 first.
He took with the knight, Danny, just so you know, maybe to avoid these kind of things.
Yeah. Okay, now bishop takes.
Yeah.
I think that was clever from Duda, actually, because, you know, that was a bit of a dilemma, and that knight coming to c5 did look a bit annoying, and yeah, that square could be used for black as well. So he's exchanged, and now bishop takes. I think it just kind of calms the position down a little bit, but white still has a chance to be better because of the knight on c4.
Yeah. I wonder here, Danny, I mean, like, if the knight now comes to c5, I think you can take that knight off positionally. And if you can get rid of the knight and the light square bishops, that would be absolutely beautiful, right? You know, okay, let's say bishop takes and we go bishop f3. Is this something we can consider? I'm just trying to get an ending where my knight is better than black's bishop, and I don't know what this is like, but it's possible.
Okay, let's have a look.
Yeah.
So how much is this?
I mean,
well, do you know what? That's actually quite useful because it gives the king an escape square, and black has a back rank to think about. So chops.
I mean, I'm thinking about black's bishop here. It looks pretty horrendous. I mean, maybe I can bring my king to e2. I can maybe go for tactics. I think this is certainly pleasant for white, right? This kind of position.
Not quite sure how to do it.
No.
But white's got to be better.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, even just bringing the king to e2, waiting, and then making some exchanges.
Do you know what? I'm actually keen to sort of rush it because I can see that black has a back rank.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense as well. Yeah. Where does the bishop go here? Actually, because if you go bishop d6, maybe knight b7 wins, and the same goes with bishop e7.
Yes.
So knight c6.
So it might have to go all the way back.
Yeah.
b6 looks a bit, I don't know, it just looks a bit wobbly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that, and rook here should be good. So yeah, bishop f8. Now rook c6. Yeah, this is better for white, isn't it? This is excellent.
It's a very nice ending. I mean, and that's why Shaq has, I think, avoided this option. And this is why, again, I get confused, Danny, because it's like so important to understand what pieces to exchange. And giving up in that last line your powerful white dark square bishop seems really not the right thing to do, right? You've got a bishop in the middle of the board and you exchange it for the knight. It seems peculiar. Maybe black is trying to do the same thing, possibly here, get rid of white's knight, maybe.
Yeah, let me just show one idea is that, you know, after bishop f3, then that can be taken, and obviously once there's a square for black to occupy here, even here actually I'm looking at bishop b7, but this should be absolutely fine for black. So yeah, bishop f3 not really working, but that bishop on d5 is actually very annoying for white now, because it looks at this b3 pawn that well, you highlighted right at the start of this position is potentially an issue. So how can white do something about that?
I mean, I'd be tempted to go f3 and e4, but it's a bit weakening playing these moves as well. But I want to get rid of that bishop because it annoys me.
Thing is, if I could do f3 and e4 in one go, I'd do it.
Yes.
The problem is after f3, I'm just concerned that for one move, everything looks a bit wobbly, doesn't it?
It's always annoying when your opponent gets a move, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit. So, I mean, how can you exploit that? Well, okay. What if I'm gonna play in a very bold way. I'm just gonna go f5. If I can get away with it, I'll be happy, because I think, you know, that pawn on e3 looks a bit funny. I mean, I need to be able to play bishop f6 as well. That's not the kind of move they make, is it, f5, frankly?
It's the kind of move I make on move 1 or 2, but not the kind of move these... I don't know, well, Mamajarov makes more moves like that than anyone else at this level, I feel.
Yeah.
But I think there's quite a lot of logic behind it, really. I mean, why not? It's not... you know, it is a bit weakening, but it does stop white's plan.
Depends if there's... am I going off that? I might be going off that move. I don't know.
Well, you've got rook takes rook, and you can take on b3, I think.
Yeah, you can.
Possibly.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I say possibly because
it's a bit scary, isn't it?
yeah, it is. That pawn could be weak, couldn't it, actually? Yeah.
There must be a more elegant solution for black. I just can't. I can't think of it at the moment. Bishop f6 or bishop c5. I'm not quite sure which.
Yeah.
Let's do that one.
By the way, Duda has tried to do the same thing, Danny, but he's gone for a more restrained move. Might be very clever. So I think he wants to play e4, but this connects the rooks, and that last move f3 did weaken the structure a bit for white. So this is logical.
Yeah, that's a nicer way of doing it, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. These guys, you know, they don't move their f pawns unless there's a really good reason.
I know.
You know, it's
that's why we never see the Dutch. I mean, it was the famous, you know, one of my favorite openings when you play f5 very early, and it was that famous Yusupov quote, wasn't it, where he mentioned often when you play the Dutch, the best move is f5, f7 in the middle game. You want to move that pawn back because it horribly weakens your structure.
Yeah.
And you're right. These guys are, they're, you know, these very small things. They're very, very delicate play they're doing.
Yeah, if he doesn't need to, then fine. Better not to. And yeah, queen here looks okay. All right, but let's try and exploit it. What about knight c5?
I'm definitely taking that again. I'm going for the same plan as before, and if I can go bishop f3, maybe it's not as. But
well, this time I'll go rook c5. Actually.
Sure. And now you might be threatening to take on c4, which I don't really want to allow. I think because I don't want to take with a. I'll maybe. Well, I don't want to take with a pawn, as you've shown. I always want to take with a piece on that square. So, I mean, something sensible like rook d1, I guess, or do I have something better than that?
Yeah, looks okay.
Maybe e4 I could, but then you should be fine.
I like rook d1.
Yeah, rook d1 makes sense, yeah.
Just as long as we can get bishop f3 in to exchange the bishops. I'm a little bit wary about giving up the bishops, and then, you know, this could be a good move.
Right.
If black can keep the bishops. Maybe let's just come back to this position. So knight c5, because that looked a little bit worrying.
I think you really don't want to move the queen again, do you? I mean, okay, he's played it. I mean, I'm thinking queen b1, but I don't like it for some reason.
Things we might go to if bishop e4. We can.
Right,
it seems to be a bit of a theme going to the long diagonal.
Yeah, that's a nice idea, actually.
I don't know. Depends on whether there's a good move here, but
if
there isn't, and you know, queen a8 does look like a bit of an issue. And
well, I guess positionally, what I want to do is I want to play e4, but maybe not allow you to take my knight. I mean, if I go e4, I'm assuming this is just a draw. Now, I'm assuming it's a draw. I mean, like, let's say rook takes and everything comes off and you go a5. Probably nothing there, is there?
No, it's nothing, is it? Because I can always play rook d8.
Oh, he's played your move, Danny. He's gone queen b1. Well, okay. Yeah.
Only because I think that it just leads to a draw. Because because queen a8 was the issue, definitely.
Yeah. Sure.
You know, it actually looks quite good. If we prevent bishop f3, then the bishops start to look very nice. So queen b1, and if bishop e4, we do the same thing. Looks quite nice on the long diagonal.
Certainly.
All right, so what about, you know, this is the problem piece. So why not bishop f6? Rook d1?
Very, very strange arrangement of the knights and the bishops in the middle, isn't it? I mean, you very rarely see this. And I think these positions are so, again, I mentioned it earlier, but they're really good sort of to test people's positional knowledge. You have to really think about what exchanges to make, what minor pieces do you want to exchange, and it's easy to go wrong.
But every position is subtly different.
Yes,
do or not. I mean, you know, I'm trying to exploit the fact that this queen is lacking squares, but actually after this, it can pop out to. Well, let's shove it out to g5 and see what happens.
Yeah,
with threat. I mean, there's rook g4.
Yeah,
But then, okay, the queen will come back here.
I mean, you got knight b6s, but
Ooh.
is that actually quite annoying in this little tactic?
Yeah, could be a big tactic.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, that's a bit grim, isn't it?
Yeah, I can take the bishop and maybe grab on b4 even.
Yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, that was very careless. Okay, so bishop f6, rook d1 we're looking at. Yeah, a bit annoying for the queen, actually, if it's got to keep tabs there.
Yeah, you pointed that out earlier.
Let's take on...
Well, actually, bishop f6, can I even just take on f6 immediately? Because if you can't take with the queen, then it could be very bad news.
Right. Oh, but this isn't quite as bad as the other one, is it?
No, because my rook is much more passive, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was rook takes c5, knight d7.
Yeah.
It's getting, there's a lot of, and then I take on a6 at the end, maybe. I don't know how this, is that I think black's very active here, though. Queen c3 or something.
Queen c3, yeah. Yeah, it looks good enough for, I guess, probably good enough. Unless, actually, even here.
Yeah.
This is funny, isn't it? Oh, the a-pawn. Yeah, probably okay.
Probably okay, yeah.
Knight,
lots to think about, isn't there?
Yeah, very delicate, really delicate. And it's interesting, Shaq was playing very quickly and times have now evened up. So both players on about 8 minutes and he's gone knight e4. So looking at that huge c3 square. And now if he gets in bishop f6 and exchanges, then, he's close to his dream position, plonking a knight on c3.
Yeah, this is something that's happened to me, that knight getting to c3, and it's horrible. So very sensible move there. There's also maybe that knight might be coming to d2 tactically in some positions as well.
Yeah.
So that is actually a little threat.
Okay, well let's play the obvious one. Let's just go rook d1.
Yeah, okay. So if I do, if I do try to get rid of the dark square bishops, am I going to get hit by something? So I'd love to try bishop f6 to get the c3 square.
Oof, this is such a tricky position.
Really tricky. Yeah, I mean, we can see black's idea with this is to swap off the dark square bishop so the black knight can come in to c3, where no minor white piece can capture it. But rook d1, by the way, has been played, but it's quite possible there's some tactic here. Because
let's look at this one again. I mean, this is
he's played it. This is on the board, Danny.
Yeah.
On the board. Yeah.
I think this is already it's a very big moment in the game, actually, with the players, just fighting for control of the squares. Can I just have a quick look at this? I mean, this is very forcing.
Sure.
And now knight here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is getting very tactical because queen f2 is big.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, I didn't actually I didn't actually see that. I was only looking at the queen side as well.
Exactly. The positional finesse, and unfortunately,
oh wow, it's not just a check either.
Let's go all the way.
That is one big check.
Oh dearie me! Wake up, folks. Well, wake up me.
Well, me. I mean, like I'm just looking at the c3 square, and this doesn't occur. And it's funny, the evaluation bar seems to, if it's correct, seems to think white might have a move. Okay, bishop f3. That makes a lot of sense. You've got to try and get rid of that knight, right? That does make sense.
Yeah, so after exchanging, then...
Well, maybe I take on e4.
Ah, you want to throw that one in? I was just thinking then, actually, now the bishop has moved away, then the queen is free to come here.
Oh, maybe that's also good, yeah.
Yeah, but taking here. And yeah, there's a pin. So yes, for all of the above. That looks actually quite okay. Right, so he's found something.
Yeah, this is actually a very good move because I think black would like to play knight c3, but it probably loses to simply bishop takes an e4.
Yeah, looks like it. So Duda seems to have found his way out of the problems there. It's very delicate, isn't it?
Very delicate. And it's thinking of the match situation as well, this first game I think is so key because if Duda can win with white, it means that Mamedyarov needs to score 2.5 out of the next 3. So, which is, I'm not going to say mission impossible, but it's really going to be an uphill struggle. And he's got some serious things to solve, serious problems to solve in this position. White's plan is quite simple. And
take the knight.
Take the knight. I like it. At last, I can work out what's going on. What does black do? And it's if you can get rid of black's knight and keep your own knight as well, then the white knight is beautiful.
Let's just go back over the last few moves and just recap how we got here, because very, very delicate moves from both sides, actually. I mean, this move, taking on d7, very nice. Queen d3, so that allowed this rook to get into the game. The queen here is a problem, isn't it? The rooks aren't connected.
You mentioned this straight away from the start, Danny. This queen, and I have to say, very impressive play from Duda again to navigate this. Bishop f3, a very class move. I'm keeping a little eye, by the way, on the chat on YouTube and on Twitch, and hello to everyone there. Chili Chess saying the same, or Chill Chess. Bishop f3 is such a nice move. Yeah, without bishop f3, it was actually probably black who was getting the upper hand. So this was a very important move to play. And Shaq under 5 minutes now, Danny.
Yeah. Serious. Duda, he's a class act. He really is. I mean, we saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
That he somehow kept such good control in these positions, and it looks like he's doing it again.
I'm really not sure what black plays. I mean,
this is really tough, isn't it? What do you do with this knight?
Well, from the process of elimination, the only possible thing I can see is to move the knight. So otherwise, I'm going to lose it. I can't move it forwards. Going backwards seems disgusting. So g5, but that's a very peculiar square, and there's some problems now with white capturing bishops at some point.
I think we can just go for this. I mean, that's a, as long as I'm not getting mated here, which I've got to watch out for that one. I mean, it's just a clear pawn, isn't it?
It's just a clear pawn. I mean, is there any way that black could? Oh, by the way, he's gone knight c3. So what is happening after knight c3? I mean, I thought this just lost a piece. What am I missing here?
Okay, so let's do it. e4. So is there something based on this? Something tricky? Is there something here? At the moment, it's a queen.
Yes. It's a big pawn on c3, but
he's gone for e4.
Bishop, this is actually occurring. I mean, wow. I mean, is he relying on the fact that the c3 pawn is worth like a rook, effectively? I find that a little bit hard to believe.
I want to see Shaq's reaction here. How's he looking? I mean, this looks bizarre. I mean, this is on the board. So, okay, so why can't he just take this? And then probably he's just going to recapture here. Yeah, he's gone rook b8.
Rook b8, okay. Trying to suffocate the queen a bit here. Where does the queen go?
Yeah.
It's a little bit tricky, this, isn't it?
It's a queen for a rook, though.
It's a queen, yeah, I know.
This is mad.
But what'd you do with the queen? It's I think from the position that Shaq had, this was a good idea. You know, if you got a dodgy position, you might as well gamble a bit. I mean, very weird.
Okay.
What if I try to put queen? Yeah.
Let's just go queen a2. Let's get it out. So if rook b2, then here, I suppose. See, looking at stuff like this,
it's not even really a big threat, is it? I
mean, you know, you can just allow it to be taken. It's not the end of the world. What about c2? He's gone queen a1. So, okay, what happens on this one? Is he just winning the pawn?
He's got e5, I think.
Yeah,
I think.
Takes. Let me just check this here.
Sure.
Here, I don't think it's anything, is it? Because d1 is covered.
I mean, there's rook b8.
Oh, wait a second, rook d1. What's happening?
You're not allowed to do moves like that.
Does this work?
What is that?
I'm just looking at this.
This is ridiculous.
Am I going mad?
I think you might have found something absolutely beautiful there.
Is that the trick?
What? I mean, does this work? Can we do that in slow motion, Daddy? Because
no, we can't. Because if we do, then we'll discover why it's a load of rubbish.
But I want to see that again. That was an amazing
b5
line.
Takes rook b1 here, and then rook d1.
Wow, what a move!
A bit.
Queen takes d1. Queen takes
doesn't
d1.
work for all kinds of reasons.
And rook takes d1. Yeah, anything takes d1.
Yeah, anything takes d1. It's a load of old rubbish. Yeah.
Nice,
if you play the moves quickly enough, then then nobody notices.
Just blitz them out, you'll be all right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So c2. Frankly, if it doesn't work, then you could just move that. But yeah, I think e5 is fine, isn't it?
I think e5 is the way to play.
Yeah, it's not working. So queen a1 and rook b2 played.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's sort of going for a slow motion thing. All right, well, what about the back rank? Let's play, I don't know, h4, h3, I don't know which.
Well, h4 is always a good move, we know that.
Yeah, h4, exactly. Give the king a bit more room.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to take that. And then, okay, let's find out if this is at all dangerous. Because I don't, thing is, because the bishop on f3 provides a break here, I don't think we're too worried about the rook coming in. You know, white is always going to survive that. Oh, that's interesting. He's played e5.
He's played e5, yeah. That's very interesting. I don't know, this is a really weird position. I know it's a queen, but if I was white here, I'd be a little bit nervous just because, I don't know. I'm just feeling like, you know, my pieces are tied up. Black's pawn is incredibly dangerous. There's no obvious way I can give material back to simplify. And I'm very passive. I'm not really sure what that last move achieved.
Yeah, because now, I mean, I want to create an escape square. And I want to move the h pawn. Because if I move the g pawn, then the 7th rank is a bit more vulnerable. So now, if you move the h pawn, then the bishop is trained on h2. So, I mean, I understand he wants to free the bishop. But I'm not sure that was the right moment to do it.
It seems peculiar because freeing the bishop doesn't really help white at all in this situation. White's bishop is not doing much. By the way, they're both now getting quite short of time. So it's one of those positions where having the pressure, which Shaq does have, let's forget about the evaluation bar, means a lot. This is a real test for Duda. So far, he's navigated all of these slight problems exceptionally well, but he's got to be careful here, I think, actually a little bit, maybe.
I think so, because I mean, positionally I understand why he's played e5, because it frees the bishop, and listen, when you're a queen up, who cares about the pawns? It's just whether you get out. But just for a moment it's a little bit awkward because the bishop is trained on h2, and as I said, I don't want to play g3 because that does actually open up the 7th rank for the rooks. So he did it quite quickly, and now I think he's, you know, he moved with haste, and he might be repenting at leisure. I think just h4 was.
I totally agree, because
was clear, but now he's realizing maybe it's not so simple.
Because one thing I'd love to do with the white pieces is get rid of that c3 pawn, like queen a3, rook takes c3.
Yeah.
You know, am I actually? I don't know if I can do that now or not.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you before you doing that, we need to solve the back rank problem.
Why do I? I don't know. Maybe I'm threatening to take on C. Oh no, because you got Rook B1 at the end. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Oh, he's played Queen A3. He's gone Queen A3.
Okay. And Queen E7 is maybe his idea, Danny, to bring the bishop away from F6. Or I say maybe. That is the only reason I can think why he played E5 actually, to get that square for the queen. It's a very weird position. What if you play, like, let's say you play C2 as well here.
Okay,
I mean, let's just say you put that there.
All right. So, what is Black actually threatening here? Is this a threat? Not.
Well, probably my next move is Rook B1, I think. Because then
okay. Let me go G3 because now the 7th rank is blocked. So I'll go G3 here.
Okay, so Rook B1, you can go King G2, right? And Bishop B2, you have this Queen. But this doesn't end because I've got Bishop F6 here.
Ah, yeah, that's annoying. Okay, so Bishop B2 is a big spanner in the works. Yeah. Okay. So now we're sort of beginning to discover what the issues are here.
Very strange.
Yeah, that's a problem. That looks like a big problem.
Yeah, I mean.
So, all right, we're looking at C2. So we need a better move than G3, basically. Yeah, is the word.
Yeah,
I don't.
It's really hard to calculate this one. I mean, Rook B1 is coming, right? But it's.
And I mean, I want to play Bishop E4, but
Bishop E4, yeah. But then there's just the oh wow, yeah,
that one.
End
okay, there's got to be a move here.
Yeah, there has to be. I mean, I like your G3, but can we make that work somehow? Like if we try G3, and Bishop B2 is a major issue, isn't it? Okay, well, I can, worst case scenario, be a pawn up. You know, if I do that last line in this one, I go King G2, Bishop B2, Queen E7, Bishop F6, take on D8. But I, you know, this is. Oh no, I'm not a pawn up even. So this is like probably nonsense, right? I mean,
it should just be equal.
It should just be equal. So sorry, yeah, that doesn't even work anyway. Well, you know, Shaq didn't play that, Danny. He actually played just G6.
Very calm.
Very calm. Yeah.
But it means that Queen E7 is now possible in some variations if you want it.
Yeah.
So it's a fun. To be honest, I find that a funny move. Okay, well let's solve the king problem.
Sure.
And let's go G3.
Such a hard position to get my head around because I know, again, the evaluation bar, it's gone down a little bit. It's saying white's doing very well. White is a queen up, but it's not that simple.
Okay, well, let's try this one.
Yeah, in we come.
Okay, so
they're now down to about a minute each. So
okay, let's try this. And now, do we grab the rook or do we do this?
I like this Rook F2. I mean, Bishop D4 is coming, and it's getting really hard to calculate.
I mean, I suppose, you know, having played G6, in a sense, this is a slower way of playing.
Yeah.
And it just means you make sure the king is nice and safe. And then you sort of, you play quite positionally, actually, instead of, you know, lunging with C2, as we were doing. I'm really not sure. I mean, we must be missing something here.
You know what, Danny? I'm going to say that Shaq's going to win this one with black.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like a little controversial hunt.
Go on, then.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on a black win, just because Look at the time situation. They're both now under a minute. Whose position is easier to play? And now, well, again, it is the evaluation bar slightly in Black's favor.
Is the evaluation bar working?
I don't know.
Let's just I'm because sometimes no, it says it's about equal.
Wow. And you know what? That line you mentioned, Danny, is on the board. It's on the board.
I don't think you should take. I think you should keep the dark square bishop.
Oh, definitely.
And just play. And then
the other thing I was trying to do there was rook a2, but I don't think I can force your queen.
Rook a2. Does that do something?
Well, I was trying to force the queen away from defense of the rook, but I think you got queen b4. Because if you go queen b3, I got rook b2, the other rook, and actually maybe you can't hold on now to all your pieces. So
yeah. But queen b4.
I think queen b4, and if I go rook b2, you go rook b3, and I don't think I have anything here.
Yeah, he's played rook a2.
Okay, so what's his idea after queen b4? Has he got something clever here?
Well, he could just go back to swiping this off. Oh, he's played bishop d4.
Bishop d4.
Oh, this is really scary.
It is. I mean, I have to say, whatever the computer says, this was brilliant from Shaq, and it's so easy in hindsight to say that. So I am sort of saying it now, seeing how things have turned out. But you've got a bad position, which he had. You've got to gamble. Look, they're both under 20 seconds. This is really scary. I mean,
totally. Well, the eval bar actually likes it for Black now.
Wow. Unbelievable. Maybe bishop f2 is like a winning threat. I mean, look at...
and now apparently Black is just winning.
Can you take on f2 with a bishop? This is what I thought might be just where does the king go? It has to go because you got bishop c5 at some moment, just winning.
He's done that. Yeah.
I think this is just completely winning.
So after this...
Well, I check first on a1.
A1, and then bishop takes c5.
Yeah.
Winning. He's gone king f1.
Same thing.
Check. Same thing.
Yeah. Look at
incredible.
it.
Absolutely incredible.
Amazing game.
And Shaq has won. So, okay, let's just show why. Because there's a check here. And then after this, he's a rook up. Well, we have a fight. I mean, look at Duda. He's shocked by that one, shaking his head. Wow. Let's just go back. I mean, that shows you how deadly Shahriar Mamedyarov is with the initiative. And there we go. We can see the scores. Set 2, day 2. Mamedyarov takes the lead. He needs to win this one. 2.5 half. He needs to get to 2.5. And he will take the final to a tiebreak. Let's just recap from the moment where he sacked his queen, because we were kind of in shock at this moment, thinking, oh, he's just lost a piece. And he'd obviously prepped this. Here's where Duda needed to somehow find things. It's that move e5, which looked dodgy to me. I was thinking h4, because the king has an escape square. The bishop isn't yet looking...
another idea there, Danny, as well as h4.
Go on.
Because the problem that White had was that Black's rooks came in, and when two rooks and the bishop coordinated, that was actually much more worrying than the pawn. So maybe you can use your c pawn. Just push the c pawn to try distract one of those. Keep the rook on d8 tied down. Was another idea. I don't know if this is any good, but maybe
is there enough time? Let's have a look.
So let's keep pushing. Is there a threat yet? I hope not.
Yeah, it's the moment of truth, isn't it?
Because if you go rook b1, even queen takes b1 is very safe. I mean, I
think we can just do this, can't we?
Yes, that's actually just winning. Yeah.
Bishop takes and no tricks.
No.
So yeah, I don't quite see the threat. So let's just go back here. So c5. Rook d2, yeah, like I said, it's kind of a fire break, isn't it? Because the bishop just defends g2, and actually it's not doing anything. It might just be that simple.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that pawn really ties down Black's rook. And I was, I think at the time, more worried about Black's C pawn, but the Black C pawn was never really doing too much, was it, in the end? It was actually when the Black rook came in. So maybe this is the way to play. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from what Shaq did, because he had to go for this line. And it was a brilliant play from him, actually, in a very tough position. This is what you've got to do. You've got to make it as hard for your opponent as possible. And it's made, obviously, the competition very exciting now as well.
So C5 could be that simple. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to counterattack. It's nice to give Black something to think about, particularly when there's a back rank. You know, it's counterattacking when Black isn't quite ready. Let's just look at the game. So Duda played E5. That was taken, and it did bring the bishop to a better square. And G6, what a cool move. We were going for the lunge with C2, which was also, I mean, to be honest, we actually didn't. I can't remember. I don't think we found anything very clear for why. I think we got to an end game, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we got to a drawn ending. Was the best I could find there.
G6. I mean, really cool from Shaq. Playing kind of position, and G3, and then the 7th rank just got ripped open. And at this point, I think the computer even actually likes Black. So, I mean, G3 looks like a big mistake as well. However, it's tricky at this moment.
That was a really weird game. I mean, like, you know, sometimes when you're commentating, like I kind of like bring back Magnus Carlsen for us, because when Magnus is playing, it's a lot easier to understand what's going on generally, because he makes it look quite simple. You can explain his ideas. When Mamedyarow's playing, it's like, what is going on, Daddy? I can't commentate on this. It's without the computer evaluation there. You know, I might have been tempted to say a masterpiece, you know, all the way through. Was that all planned? You know, it's really that game was incredible. Like all the little subtleties from the opening, early middle game. Duda played exceptionally well, but then he won the queen, I think, or you know, it was sacrificed, but then he didn't find the right solution at the end.
Yeah, but he's just deadly with the initiative. Yeah. You know, it took, basically, he sacked his queen and only got a rook for it. And then within a few moves, it's over. I mean, absolutely extraordinary. I mean, Duda was kind of in a state of shock at the end of it. You know, what you're saying about it's easier to commentate on Carlsen's games, it reminded me of something that one of the English players said in the 1920s or 1930s about Alekhine and Capablanca. He said, when I play against Alekhine, I never know what's going to happen, and suddenly, you know, boom, it's over. So when I play against Capablanca, I can see exactly what he's going to do, but I can't do anything about it. It's just that, you know, the clarity that Capablanca had in his strategy, whereas with Alekhine, it was just kind of from nowhere. And you can see that with Mamedyarov. I mean, that was just bam. We thought he was lost. Queen sack, and the game has turned completely.
Which way do you want to die? Is kind of the thing when you're with Capablanca or you know, an Alekhine down. But incredible game though, and also makes the situation very interesting now, because you know, basically Mamedyarov has to win today, and he's taken a lead with the black pieces. So yeah, brilliant stuff, absolutely incredible. Yeah, so there we go. We can see the scores. Jan-Krzysztof Duda won the first set. So Mamedyarov has to hit back, and he's now 1 up. I'm guessing the next game will be in about 10 minutes. Is that right? I don't know if we've got the word on the street at 57. So in about 8 minutes time. So yeah, we'll be back. Shall we take a short break? And yeah, we're back in 5 or 6 minutes for game 2. Looks very exciting.
Air quality isn't the first thing that comes to mind when you think about chess and esports, but it affects our focus, decision-making, health, sleep, and more. What's in the air you breathe? Find out with Air Things.
Wow! For one split second, the position completely turned. Oh, well, I don't see a move, but Freddy does see a move, because bishop takes b3. Who is the gentleman or lady under that mummy mask? Whew. What a game.
The Aimchess Retry Mistakes lesson shows you positions from your own games where you made a mistake, and gives you the opportunity to make a better move, and learn from your own positions. Aimchess analysis boards let you take an opening position you don't recognize, and instantly find videos featuring that position from some of your favorite chess content creators. Aimchess breaks down your games by the opening, and tells you how you're scoring after the first 15 moves, so you can quickly learn which openings work for you, and which you need to practice more.
I'm going to talk about my games from this season of the Meltwater Champions Chess Tour.
The idea of h4 is very direct. I want to play h5, open up the king side, and potentially check my team.
Alan continued with trying to put some pressure here on the e6 pawn. And c5, knight's doing a great job here, both potentially for some attacking ideas, but also defending the e6 pawn.
Rook g8 still doesn't spoil anything, but rook takes the g7 is a gross mistake now, because rook c8 is still easily winning.
quality isn't the first thing that comes to mind when you think about chess and esports, but it affects our focus, decision-making, health, sleep, and more. What's in the air you breathe? Find out with Air Things.
Wow! For one split second, the position completely turned. Oh, well, I don't see a move, but Freddy does see a move, because bishop takes b3. Who is the gentleman or lady under that mummy mask? Whew. What a game.
The Aimchess Retry Mistakes lesson shows you positions from your own games where you made a mistake, and gives you the opportunity to make a better move, and learn from your own positions. Aimchess analysis boards let you take an opening position you don't recognize, and instantly find videos featuring that position from some of your favorite chess content creators.
Welcome back. Day 2 of the Aimchess Rapid final. And we had a bit of a shocker in game 1. Simon, that was incredible.
Yeah, it was. I mean, totally agree. It looked like Duda was doing everything perfectly, played brilliant game up to a certain point. Mamedyarov then twisted things up by realizing he had a bad position, sacrificing his queen for the initiative, and actually getting a very dangerous position, which Duda wasn't able to navigate. So we're now in a situation where Mamedyarov, Danny has the white pieces, and we've got the trendy Rogozin variation of the Queen's Gambit, right, on the board.
Very trendy. But Mamedyarov playing in a, not well. This can burst into all kinds of interesting things. So yeah, I mean, this bishop g5 in a sense puts the finger on the essential problem with the Rogozin, is that once this bishop comes out here, then this pin is actually rather annoying for black, because normally in the trusty old Queen's Gambit declined, then the bishop will just come to e7. So not that this is fatal, because black always has counterplay here as well, but that basically unbalances the position once the bishop goes to g5. And Duda has taken the pawn, and yeah, okay, this one's interesting. I think Mamedyarov would be quite happy about this. Do you know this variation?
Yeah, I think this is probably a mainline Vienna. It's transposed to. Actually, this line now that they're playing with c5 is one of the trendy, modern, sharp variations I seem to recall. I mean, I don't keep up to date with all the latest ideas, but I think there was another game in one of the previous Champions Tour where we saw this line. Very sharp stuff, and of course these variations is you have to have done your homework before getting into it. On either side of this, if you don't know what the computer says, even if you're one of the best players in the world, you can get in a lot of trouble. But I think this is all trendy at the moment, Danny. I think.
Do you take on f6 and then take on d4? Is that the idea?
I have no idea.
Because otherwise, I'm thinking if, let's say, queen takes, then this is a bit awkward, isn't it? Then e4 drops.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you have to take here first, and then queen takes d4, and well, black needs to develop the queen side. I mean, this looks quite nice. That looks quite nice. I mean, no doubt Duda knows what he's doing.
I think Magnus played this line as black to beat, I was going to say Duda in the last one of these Champions Tour events. Let me have a check, see what I can find, Danny. But
okay. Yeah. I mean, after this, of course, black shouldn't be. I think it would be a mistake to exchange queens to bring the knight into the game. Maybe bishop b7 to attack the e4 pawn, and then bring the knight out to d7 quickly. That could be the way to do it.
So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use
yeah, please,
my friend G Chess to try and work out what on earth is going on in this trendy variation. Which okay, so we've seen this position after pawn takes d4, and the top game that I've got is Ding versus Carlsen, which is pretty.
And what did Ding do?
And Ding played knight takes d4.
Oh right, not bishop f6. Okay.
In that game, and I think I'm right in saying that Magnus Carlsen did play this line after he lost this game again, but knight takes d4 is the move that seems to be the most commonly played. Yeah, knight takes d4 has been played 50 times. Bishop takes f6 played 19 times in the database I'm using. So
okay, so what now? Bishop b7 again?
Knight takes d4 h6 is how
h6. Oh, really?
Is how the Carlsen game went, and then bishop e3. So I can have a look. But bishop b7.
That's surprising. Has bishop b7 played? I mean, it feels, just natural to bring out a piece.
Bishop b7 has been played, but there is a problem apparently when knight to c2. Funnily enough, the computer
knight
indicates.
c2. Okay,
I don't know. I mean, like I said, Danny, this is one of those positions you need to know before you go into it.
I have to say, not a move that would terrify me.
No, but I mean, I just whacked it on the Stockfish, and the Stockfish is liking this a lot. I mean, there's the obvious problem. Yeah, this line you're showing all looks very, very natural, right? Bishop takes e4, and let me just see. This has never occurred before. Actually, just knight a3 or knight e3.
And it thinks that white is better.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it thinks that white's, a pawn up here, equivalent of, for some reason.
Really?
But again, I mean, well, Danny, he's gone bishop takes f6 earlier on, so he can't be your line. Thank goodness.
I don't know. I mean,
so that is well, that was some of the latest theory we're showing there, and that was a game between Ding and Magnus Carlsen, two of the strongest players in the world. And funnily enough, this bishop takes f6 is a much rarer move. But Gelfand has played this. Some strong players, Zhu has played this. But the top game I can find is Gelfand versus Erodian. There's a lot of draws in this line. Yeah, queen takes looks natural.
D4.
And then going for Erodian actually played G takes f6 here.
Really?
Yeah.
I tell you what, this is a complete mystery.
I mean, I don't know who played this in the last Champions Tour. It might have been Erodian who repeated this line with black, and someone won a very nice game with the black pieces in this variation. And now that I'm thinking of Erodian, it might be Erodian rather than Magnus who won a very good game in this line. But yeah, G takes f6 looks completely crazy, doesn't it? And the reason Erodian, I remember, played this, and it was definitely Erodian, was he loves the two bishops, and that's what he was putting a lot of his faith on. And that went queen takes d4, and then knight d7 in this very bizarre position. So and you know what, G takes f6 has been played, Danny. So I think Duda's obviously a bit angry because he didn't need to go into this immensely complicated position. He's trying to win with black here, right? This is the only thing I can think of playing. I don't know what the theory says, but this position, just looking at it, you can see it's so double-edged, right? He's trying to win with black, bounce back immediately, right?
He's young and he's done his prep.
That could be the other reason. Yeah.
Yeah, I think But okay, let's just make a normal move. Let's play. Oh, there you go. Listen, I haven't been able to predict any move in the past. Yeah, since it all went haywire with b5. So he's played knight takes.
And you know what? Knight takes is actually, as far as I can see, never been played over the board. Is knight takes possibly a new move? I mean, they're both moving quickly still. I can't find any games with knight takes, which is bizarre. Bishop b7 looks very logical. And I think, as far as I can see, we're in new territory here.
Okay. Right. With black now, do we want to play knight d7? I'm wondering whether we flick in queen c7, actually. I mean, I'm assuming that if the bishop moves, they're not going to take here. So perhaps that'll have to be defended. And then knight d7. I haven't counted the pawns. And I now realize that white is one up. I don't know if that's significant. Let's go back.
There was also queen b3. Might be a little bit more forcing.
Queen b3. Yes. Yeah. I hear you, because there could be some issues here. Yeah. Okay, well, he's gone queen c7. Okay. Well, yeah, queen b3, as you mentioned, looks more aggressive, doesn't it? Okay, let's take here. Gain a bit of time.
And then if I go queen takes, can you capture on e4? I suppose there's something a bit funny about that move, isn't it? Yeah. Like b6 or something long. I don't know, maybe not b6, but there's something a bit iffy, as you say, Danny. Yeah, castling looks so
just
natural,
castle.
Yeah,
rook e1 and
oh dear.
Yeah. There's knight e6 and queen f6. And,
there's a lot of horrible things here.
I think Shaq is kind of in his element here, isn't he?
If Shaq wins this game, I mean...
So queen c7 on the board. Let's just see that. I mean, Duda played it fairly quickly. Let's look at this one a bit more slowly. So queen b3. Okay, this one, let's take it step by step. The bishop is attacked. This much we know. Now can you defend it with a5? I mean, white is going to castle anyway. So I don't think it really makes much odds. I mean, I feel at this point, black needs to gain time just to develop.
I mean, the more I'm just looking at the position, Daddy, it seems to me that white is a pawn up with the attack. I mean...
Summing up.
Just to look. I mean, white's got better development.
Yeah.
White's got a better pawn structure and an extra pawn. I mean, the only benefit I can see of black is the two bishops, but, that's not really lasting long here anyway, is it? So
yeah, I mean, we were looking at queen takes, which looked very nice for white. There's
also pawn takes, yeah.
Pawn takes, and after this, okay, let's just castle.
I mean, it looks so dangerous, doesn't it? It's castling move with rook e1 and a sacrifice on e6, just begging to be played. I mean, maybe black can castle and grovel, but I don't know. It looks queen b3's been played.
And this looks horrible.
Does he? Can he just retreat the bishop as well? I mean, let's try to keep the only asset, the only positive thing that black's got, the two bishops. I don't really want to give those dark squares away. So let's say I go bishop c5 and try to gain, try to keep those bishops.
Okay, well, I'm channeling my inner Shaq now.
I know what you're going to do.
I'm going to sack a piece.
Why not? Bring it in, bring it on.
Well, where's the king going? I mean, it's got to sort of dribble out around here, hasn't it?
This looks absolutely horrendous for black, this variation. Bishop c5 played.
Oh,
we have now. Or will he go to castle's queenside, Danny? Your favourite move?
Not so stupid.
Well, I mean, knight takes e6 or something. E6 is on the cards.
Yeah, I mean, after this, then bishop e6 or knight e6. So let's start with that one.
Scary. I mean, queen takes as well. Everything takes is scary.
Oh, queen takes as well. Everything
takes.
And knight f5.
Yeah.
A shocker. Castle's queenside. I'm loving it.
It kind of makes sense, as you say. I mean, you're a pawn up. Maybe black has to castle. Can he? But
I think he's got to take there. I think he's got to take and castle.
Yeah. And the question here is, can white? Okay, yeah, just play this, and if
I mean, this is fun because the knight is actually. I mean, you've got to play a6.
Then then I wanted to play b6 to keep things closed as much as I can.
Yeah.
But you got knight c6 coming. It's still a bit. Of course, Shaq hasn't done this, Danny. He's just taken on e6.
Yeah.
He's not going to mess around, is he? He wants to kill.
Game on. Yeah. Yeah, why not? I mean, I think castles was possible, but yeah, I mean, it was my first instinct also, channeling my inner Shaq. Just sack on e6. Why not? That knight is terrible, isn't it? Dreadful piece on b8. It's got to come out via d7, but it's not going to be easy to do that because it sort of blocks out the queen.
And funnily enough, I mean, white does have 3 pawns. They're not great pawns. The pawns are not the important thing, but at some point that is useful. So it's not a major sacrifice, but it's just as you said, Danny. Look at the black king, and white's bishop is fantastic. I mean, there's many ideas white has castling queenside to bring the rook in. The white knight can jump into the middle of the board. Maybe castling kingside. I don't know which way the white king goes. I'm not sure. That's
Well, all right. Let me make. The king is obviously not going to castle now, so let me go king f8 and try to put it on g7.
Sure. I think castling queenside looks natural, right? Because you get the rook immediately on the open file. You stop black's knight developing. This has to be the correct way to play.
Right. Here we go. I mean, I think castle's kingside is also very good. I mean, I'll tell you one thing about putting the king here is that, at the moment, knight d5, he has castle kingside, actually. Well, knight d7 was played.
Yeah.
I mean, it might actually slow white down a little bit, castling queenside. Whereas if you go castle kingside, then you have, you're free to play rook c1 and knight d5 can happen very quickly. I mean, it seems to me that black just can't get out.
Yep.
Knight d7 played and castle's kingside very quickly.
Yeah.
I like this. I really like this because the king is completely safe and we just put our rooks in the middle. And I don't see how Duda is going to escape from this very easily. I mean, let's go king f8 anyway.
Sure.
Rook d1 and rook c1. I don't know which one. Let me just go rook c1.
Okay.
Let's just pile on the pressure and see what black can do.
I would not like to be black here.
No.
Because white's moves are very natural. You like you say, you can just play. You don't even have to play this as a real urgent sacrifice. You've got long-term compensation. You can just keep the pressure on, but black can lose very quickly. I mean, knight d5, knight a4, these kind of moves are going to win a piece back. So I don't like this at all for black.
Knight
really
A4,
hard to play.
Knight a4 is the clear threat. So I think one of these pieces has to move. Okay, let's play. I mean, to be honest, I'm struggling to find a move here.
Yeah. I
mean, I think this might actually. Wow. What do you play? I mean, the queen has to keep guarding the knight. It's just. It's an omni-shambles. It's an omni-shambles.
It is.
A word we've been using a lot recently.
Well, we were talking about English politics, weren't we, Danny? Very briefly before we went online, or I heard it was mentioned, and the word omni-shambles and some more aggressive words did come into play there. So when we talked about, the state of English politics.
Yeah.
Maybe you can't go king f8. Maybe king f8 is too slow. I mean, I don't want a castle queenside, do I?
Come on.
I'm thinking if I get it to b8, maybe this is
okay.
I don't believe
I'm going to keep it simple. Okay. I want to win material.
Yeah, knight a4 is a killer, isn't it? It's absolutely a killer.
It is.
Actually, no. I'm just lining another piece up against the rook. I can't do this. So, I mean, it was mentioned in the chat. Again, I keep an eye on YouTube and Twitch a little bit that rook d1 might also be good, but rook d1 is there, and I really like Danny's rook c1. It's very subtle, and it's a great square for the rook. So who knows which move is stronger, but they're both very tempting.
I think the problem for black is that you've got nothing to hit at. There is zero counterplay in this position. I mean, absolutely nothing. White king is completely safe. He's gone rook d8.
Okay. It's the kind of position a computer, might be able to hold, but for a human to hold this, you have to. It's so hard to play accurate move on accurate move. And again, your rook c1 looks very natural here, Danny. I mean, I like your rook c1.
Let's start with that one and just see if
maybe black can move the queen now, though. I suppose like queen e5 or centralize it or something.
Yeah, one of those squares.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll try queen f4 because you never know. At some moment there might be something going on.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I'll keep it simple. Knight here.
Sure. I probably have to take that one. I can't let that stand.
Pawn takes, just cemented in there. I don't know whether am I slightly fizzling the advantage? I have no idea. I'm going to play some just normal moves. I mean, I'm assuming that this is just rubbish for black.
Yeah, I think black's walking in. I mean, bishop d6 looks like a good solid way to do something. And now feels like black might be safe on the dart squares here, though. I mean, queen b4 and maybe b4. Danny just offered.
Sorry, b4. Queen b4. Beg your pardon. Yep. Okay.
And if I get my king to f8, I might. I mean, again, this is still very scary because of queen e3. You stop the king coming to f8.
Yeah. Looks in all directions.
Yeah, this is again. It's so scary. So scary for black. This one. I mean,
okay, but I'm not playing very sophisticated moves here for white. And even then, it looks pretty tricky. He's gone knight d5 straight away.
Yeah, I mean, it also makes a lot of sense.
Looking here,
you have to take this knight, surely. I mean, you can't. I mean, you could try queen e5, I guess, but
yeah.
I don't believe queen e5, do you?
I think he's going to take it.
Yeah, you have to take this knight. But there is a question. I mean, there's an argument for queen takes after bishop takes d5 as well, because you're threatening queen h5. You're keeping some lines open. The only move that worries me here from the white perspective is queen e5.
By the way, he didn't take it. He's gone queen e5.
He's played queen e5
very quickly. It's just gone king h1. Lining up the good old f pawn, and in this case, it looks fantastic. And obviously, queen takes bishop. We've got a nice fork on c7. I
mean, if you were going to pick a player to play this position with the white pieces, it would be Shaq, right? I mean, he's the guy to give this position to. I mean, it's like it resembles a Tau-like attack, doesn't it? Long-term compensate, but a very good one. This is clearly enough compensation.
A completely sound one, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tau sacrifices weren't always sound, but I mean, you can see that Shaq is very relaxed. He's completely in his element in such a position, just going forwards, getting ready to release the f pawn. All of his pieces working. He could be going 2-0 up after this.
Frankly, if Duda escapes from this, then fair play. This looks absolutely horrible. I like the way Shaq, he's not looking for a kind of an immediate kill like a mate in 3. He's just playing like, all right, what would I do if I just wanted to pursue the attack? King h1, f4. The king, he's basically saying the king just isn't going very far. Even when the king reaches here, well, so what? I mean, he's actually gone king f8 and queen h3, which is a beautiful follow-up, actually. And just reminding black that, I mean, that is just horrible, isn't it? Beautiful move.
Killer.
Fantastic move from Shaq.
I mean, king h1 was also class, right? I think he's enjoying himself a little bit too much in this game, Danny. You could just see it. He doesn't want to. He's just putting his pieces in good squares. But king h1 is the kind of move I think a lot of players would really struggle to find, because they would be, as you mentioned, trying to do something a bit more aggressive. Trying to create a threat. But king h1 is creating a slower threat, but a very strong one. Is there any way black can survive after this queen h3?
I mean, honestly, I really think this is completely gone. I mean, let's just give a for example. So
Sure.
we move, the knight is threatened. So let's play here. I mean, I was just going to start with queen h6,
Yeah,
king here, and queen g7.
Okay.
That's just my first thought, because not only is the rook attacked, but we're threatening knight c7
and queen f7 and
queen. Oh yeah. By the way,
you're everything.
Yeah. I mean, it's just gone, hasn't it? Completely. I mean, not to, even if that didn't work, I dare say that would just.
Can I show a nice checkmate? I like showing like weird checkmates.
Go on.
Let's say you go f4 first. Sorry, after knight b6.
Yes.
You
F4.
flick in f4, queen takes pawn, and you do the same thing. There's a check on h6, king e8, and then okay, this is, I don't know why I'm showing this, but queen g7 again is crushing. Okay. I was just thinking of rook f8, queen e7, but I mean it's just because I saw a pattern like this the other day. You don't even need to go queen e7, but it's just, you know, if you want to.
I mean, that really is pulling out the fingernails. You could have just.
I know. I was getting a bit carried away there, Danny. I was enjoying myself too much.
You're enjoying yourself, and fair enough. It's a fantastic move, isn't it?
Yeah.
Queen h3, beautiful. And Duda, I mean, look at him. He realizes he can resign here, basically. It really is terrible. It's a shocker. I think is he thinking about that one? Surely you've got to get rid of that knight.
Yeah, you've got to get rid of some of these pieces. But now, I mean, I don't know if you check first, but a rook coming to e1 is going to be horrendous. Maybe you just go pawn takes bishop, right? He's gone f5.
I suppose it does give the queen a retreat to g7.
Yeah.
It's not getting better though.
Well,
okay, take with the bishop. I'm not worried. I'm just going to keep it nice and steady.
Yeah. Keeping the threats.
I'm sure there are other options too, but
yeah,
I don't see why we can't just keep it simple.
Bishop takes f5 just looks simple and good. I mean, there might be better moves, as you mentioned, Danny, but bishop f5 is still so hard for black to find an idea in this position. So there's something a bit more killing though here. Can't see it at the moment.
It's a bit of a randomizer, but okay, let's keep it simple. So we'll take, and now when I keep wanting to take this knight off.
Understandably, I think.
And then move this one.
Well, queen h6 is then.
And queen h6, yeah, it's
bad news.
Okay, let's go queen d6.
You got like, I mean, even rook e1, but maybe, you know, or rook a6. You got, well, rook e1 maybe is more.
Which one? This one?
I don't know, yeah, either one, I guess. Just trying to come into e6 with the rook and then queen h6 killing.
That's pretty desperate.
I was thinking about
queen h4.
I was thinking about this, but I wasn't sure I was going after queen takes bishop. If you could try to liquidate some bits now. But then king g7, I thought you had to try.
Check, queen here, queen g5, queen g6.
Yeah, I couldn't see the follow-up in this position.
Yeah, and that's... Ah, what about knight f4?
Oh!
Tasty, tasty.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay, is it any good?
Oh, wow. What a move.
You've got to hang on to the knight.
What a move.
And then beautiful. I've got queen g... Actually, I think it might actually be a good move.
Wow. That's incredible. I mean, look at Duda's fate. I mean, Duda realizes this has gone. He knows it's the end.
He's taken it. He's taken the knight. He's taken the bishop, and he's taken...
Knight f4 is such a beautiful move, Danny. Really, really nice. And, you know, your queen's on pre, and you just calmly do a retreating knight move, one of the hardest moves to find.
Maybe he's got to play queen e8.
Okay.
I mean, not that this is going to give White any particular troubles.
It seems like a better try.
Queen c7.
You probably want to keep the queen. Yeah, you definitely want to keep the queens on, right? Oh, he's gone king g7, but
I think we're going to see it. I think we're going to see knight f4. Dude is shaking his head.
So knight f4, queen e7. Can I grovel?
I was hoping there was a good move here. Queen.
Well, you have. I think you have knight h5 check. Just take the rook.
Oh yes, just take the rook. Exactly. It's gone, hasn't it?
Yeah. What a game, Danny. What a game. I mean, Duda's, and he's played it. He's played knight f4.
Here we go.
I mean,
actually, maybe this is Duda's only chance to do this.
Yeah.
And then take here. And now, can he get something going?
Well, king takes knight. You've got quite a weird material imbalance. The game goes on. Yeah. Actually, maybe, yeah. Not so clear.
And you just need to get the rooks in the game. Yeah, just for a moment, it's a bit unclear, isn't it?
It is. I think Duda's somewhat given up. You can see by his face, he's just realizing this is.
He overlooked knight f4, basically.
Knight f4 was beautiful. I mean, this is a really, again, bad opening choice from Duda.
Yeah.
He got in so much trouble straight out the opening. He's given Shaq everything that Shaq wants in life. An attack, but a sound attack. You know, it's sort of you're not even letting Shaq overextend himself with this. You're just giving him in his dream position. So it is, yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, after that last line, after Queen e7 as well, you might just be able to play Queen c7 and keep it. Maybe can you do this? And I guess bishop takes e4 is holding.
Yeah, but the material. Okay, so it's basically rook and 2 pawns against the bishops, and white has a big move here. So
I mean, like rook d1 or something.
Rook d1. Everything looks a bit wobbly, doesn't it? I think this is the easiest way to go, actually.
Yeah.
Rook d8. Oh no, rook d8. You take it.
Yeah. Queen takes d8. Beautiful.
We've seen that one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's killing. I think that's the better way to go, actually. Queen.
Well, the game has taken a bit of a different route, Danny.
How do we get there? Queen f7, queen check, king back. Oh, this looks hopeless. I mean, can we just take on f5? How's that?
Yeah, is there a rook g8 punt? I don't think so. That can't work, can it? Run.
Where do you go to?
I don't know.
Because now, I mean, white's so many pawns up in the endgame.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just going to be winning, isn't it? He's played. Yeah. Oh no, he hasn't taken yet. So it's white. Shaq's thinking here. I mean, how about? I wonder about rook d1 as well.
Yeah, I think there's more than one ways to put the ball in the back of the net here.
I think that's actually rook d1. To be honest, I prefer to just bring the rook in if possible, and I don't. Rook g8, queen. That's wins instantly.
And also, why allow black's light square bishop any play towards white's king? Just keep it closed.
No, I mean rook d1 is just resigned, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's really nothing.
No. Very nice game.
That's the position. Shaq. He's got 4 minutes left. He can take his time to find the killer move. What move are we on? This is only move 22. Oh my God. I mean, absolutely devastating. So, well, we'll let Shaq, he's taking his time here. He's enjoying it. Why not?
He's really enjoying himself here. And I think that last game where Duda, probably looked at the assessment of the game afterwards, realized that the computer said he's completely winning as he's gone pawn takes pawn, which is probably, it's winning as well. But I think that last game has thrown Duda into, really off stride. And this is looking like we might have a very exciting playoff. And we're following the variation, which we mentioned earlier. There's so many tempting moves again here. A rook check springs to mind. And then the knight comes in. You still got to polish it off. So
just got to watch out for that one.
Yes.
I think rook d1 was more convincing than this.
it seemed a little bit safer because you're just giving that bishop something to bite on, aren't you? But unless there's just something absolutely finishing it here.
Yeah, I want to go back to rook d1 actually.
Okay.
I think
bring all the pieces in.
Yeah, because everything just looks a bit loose now.
Yeah. And let's remember, white is serious material up now as well, with the attack. I mean, white material up and attacking. Black's only hope is against g2. This is the only possibility he's got to try to bring the bishop down. I mean, if I go queen takes pawn here, you know, it's still you can still go wrong in such a position. And this is why Shaq is taking his time. I'm trying to maybe go queen takes knight if I get a chance or something crazy. That doesn't work because of many reasons, but why not? Why not bring the queen to this square?
Okay, what about that?
Okay, stopping all my fun.
Right, if that's what you want to do, I'm just going to stop that. And now I really am threatening rook e1.
Yeah, no more funny business. The black king can't go anywhere safe. I mean, okay, what about f7? I'm saying it can't go anywhere safe. I'm desperately trying to find... Okay, well, back to the game. Rook e1 was played, which is a more forcing move. But after king d8, we now get to another critical moment. Now
f3.
Now just f3. It might, yeah. Does the knight check help or does it hinder? I guess king c8. He's got f3. Yeah. Why not? You're right, though. This rook d1 earlier on did seem a smoother way to win. Queen takes f5 played. So we kind of had a look at this sort of position. And
yeah, but I mean, everything looks so solid here. I think I'm going to come back to my move rook c1. Well, you need 3 rooks, of course. But yeah, I mean, knight e6 and rook c1, or okay, I'll go rook c1 and let's just see if black can actually defend against this move.
Black's only hope is to try to get a queen takes f3 in, right?
Yeah,
I'm dreaming.
Okay, let me see if we can arrange that. Let's try and arrange it.
Okay.
And now rook c1, queen f3.
Yeah, this is even here. I don't know if it works. Oh, it maybe does. This might.
I mean,
this is
yeah, and maybe there's not a good defense there. So that's why I'm throwing in rook c1 first.
Yeah.
But okay, I'll run again. Maybe rook c1 is a bit cash.
Rook c1 played.
There you go. I'm channeling my inner Shaq today.
You are doing a great job.
Duda's looking a bit distraught, but yeah, okay, let's go. Let's just march out.
Wow.
If I can get to b8, then it could be game on.
I mean, I've got moves like queen e6 here. If I want to be a bit like, okay, I'm not gonna mate you, but I'm just gonna try to win all your bits.
Actually, that is actually very annoying because it's
rook e8. Oh no, I don't know. Rook e8 can't work, can it?
Yeah, pin is a bit annoying. I mean, you can still do this.
I mean, this is still a completely winning ending, but at least I've got to an ending this time, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, okay. You're coming back that way. That's not very fair.
That's a good rate of exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah, queen e6, a bit of a party killer, isn't it?
Oh.
Well, okay, I'll keep going.
You're still trying to get queen f3 in. I know.
Okay, how can we arrange this?
Well, I mean,
it's very difficult to arrange it because there's always
bishop rook takes
knight f8.
Knight f8. Look at that black king. Look how weak it is. So weak.
Okay, he's covering the e6 square.
He is.
That's what the knight f8 was about.
I mean, you got rook c5 and queen takes. Oh no, it doesn't work because the queen takes f8. Okay.
Oh yeah, let me just show you that because that's fun. Yeah.
This is
and black probably.
Black's in the best shape he's been in all game.
Black's better. Yeah. Anyway, we realise that's a load of old garbage. So
yeah, let's
try something else.
It's a fun position to analyse this, isn't it? I mean,
okay, let me try. Okay, I want to try b4. How's that one?
Like it. Okay, I'm going to grab it and see what you got.
Right.
Let's do it.
So why did I do that? I can't remember. I think
Well,
I just wanted to clear the C file.
I like it. I mean, it seems to help you, but we need to follow up, right?
Yeah, I hadn't really thought of a follow-up. You're asking difficult questions now. Stop
This
it.
is the kind of thing I do.
He's gone B6.
I mean, who would find a move like B6? What? Why? Why?
Now you see, if pawn takes, then he is going to play B4, and then that's decisive. Okay, so what's his idea? I know now. He wants Queen D6.
I'm sorry, but that is just too nice. B6 in this position,
and then
it's a ridiculously
what's
beautiful
the killer
move.
No, maybe it's not Queen D6 because there's still.
No,
yeah.
is
So that's checkmate.
Yeah,
and Queen here. What's the kill? Queen F6. Yeah, Queen F6.
Yeah.
So that's his Queen B6. You see,
what a move! What a move!
Yeah. Just a little disruptive move, and it just upsets Black beautifully.
B6 is such a beautiful move because
he's an artist. What an artist he is.
He is an artist. I mean, you're looking at checks here. I'm looking at checks. I'm looking at other moves, but B6 and B4. What a brilliant, brilliant combination. Amazing.
Rook G2.
He's having a go, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Shak's taken. Queen takes. Queen takes is threatened. So
unfortunately, it's White's move, though.
Yeah, Queen D2. That even defends there. Does it with check. So Knight D7 forced, and then you can just take on C5. Yeah, you can just take here.
Yeah, simple.
Yeah. Yep, there we go. And Duda has resigned. Shak in his element today. So it is 2-0 in this second set. Shak just needs a draw in the final two games, and we go into a tiebreak. Wow. Sensational stuff today. What did he do last night? What happened to Shak? What did he get up to?
Maybe he went down the local pub quiz, Danny. And,
quiz night at the local hostelry.
That's it. The local boozer, a couple of beers, relax, and get the mind going a little bit. So, I mean, he's playing great chess today. I mean, the first game was Duda's big chance. This game, Duda picked a really strange opening variation. He was still angry from that game one, and he gave Shak everything that Shak likes. But the way that Shak won this game was quite phenomenal. I mean, it looked like nearly a perfect attacking game from White. Very, very impressive.
I mean, you mentioned, was it the right opening choice from Duda?
Yeah.
Because already we've just got a mess on the board. And when it got to here, Queen C7 was really inviting it.
I mean, this position, Danny, we sort of called it. We said White's a pawn up with the attack. I mean, it's like, what more do you want after sort of 12 moves of an opening? I mean, you can't ask anything else.
Thing is, this sacrifice, it's not even very risky, is it?
No.
White has 3 pawns for the piece. Black's king, even if it gets to G7, it's not secure. It's a total gift. And again, I mean, some of the touches that Shak had here, King H1.
I really like King H1. I think this is one of the harder moves to find. And it's just showing how White is dominating the position. I mean, one thing I see a lot of players doing wrong is when they get these kind of attacking positions, they're thinking, right, I'm a piece down, I need to force something. But in actual fact, it's more about working out what your opponent's next move is. And Shak has worked out that Black doesn't have a good plan here, and that you have time to play it slowly. And I think King H1 just amplifies all those thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I mean, Queen E5, it just felt like it was asking for it. I mean, my first reaction is the knight comes in, whip it off. Just take it. You need to clear some wood here. I mean, I still think White has an absolutely fantastic position. Either pawn takes or bishop takes. It's a gift of an attack, but it's got to be the best chance. after this, king h1, and again, a beautiful move, queen h3. Wow. Looking in both directions.
Very nice. Yeah, all round. Really, really good game.
And then delicate move, queen h4. And that's a deft touch. And there's more to come. Very coolly played f3. Rook c1, just lining up. And here we go. The killer move, b6, which just disturbs black's pieces. Wonderful stuff. b4. And now there really is no way out. So let's just go through some of the moves. So if bishop here, then queen takes is winning. Bishop here, we've got queen b6 check. And if the bishop goes, well, random move this way, then, well, we've got queen d6 again. So, yeah, what happened? We had b4, rook g2, and that was the end of that. Queen d2, and he took that. Yeah, game over. Absolutely brilliant. So we have 2-0 for Shahriar Mamedyarov in this second set. He just needs a draw to take it into the tiebreak, and we will see 2 blitz games if we do get there, and then if that's even, we might even get into an Armageddon, but we'll have to see about that. Next game, what time is the next game at?
So next game is at 52, so we got 11 minutes until we're there.
Yeah, just very quickly, this is the Aimchess Rapid, and Aimchess is a very powerful tool for self-improvement. If you do check it out, aimchess.com/try, and you can see the features there. Really interesting metrics. Basically, it will take your games, you input your games, and it will show you, for example, are you putting games away efficiently? And it's all computer generated, and then there are targeted exercises. And during the tournament, in fact, you can subscribe to Aimchess for a 30% discount. So do check that out. Aimchess.com/try, and do check it out. It's a really nice tool for self-improvement. Right, so Simon, should we take a short break there? And we will see everyone. The next game will start at 52. So it's 18:42, 10 minutes time.
Air quality isn't the first thing that comes to mind when you think about chess and esports, but it affects our focus, decision-making, health, sleep, and more. What's in the air you breathe? Find out with Air Things.
Wow! For one split second, the position completely turned. Oh, well, I don't see a move, but Freddy does see a move, because bishop takes b3. Who is the gentleman or lady under that mummy mask? Whew. What a game.
The Aimchess Retry Mistakes lesson shows you positions from your own games where you made a mistake, and gives you the opportunity to make a better move, and learn from your own positions. Aimchess analysis boards let you take an opening position you don't recognize, and instantly find videos featuring that position from some of your favorite chess content creators. Aimchess breaks down your games by the opening, and tells you how you're scoring after the first 15 moves, so you can quickly learn which openings work for you, and which you need to practice more.
I'm going to talk about my games from this season of the Meltwater Champions Chess Tour.
The idea of h4 is very direct. I want to play h5, open up the king side, and potentially check my team.
Alan continued with trying to put some pressure here on the e6 pawn. And c5, knight's doing a great job here, both potentially for some attacking ideas but also defending the e6 pawn.
Rook g8 still doesn't spoil anything, but rook takes g7 is a gross mistake now, because rook c8 is still easily winning.
Air quality isn't the first thing that comes to mind when you think about chess and esports, but it affects our focus, decision-making, health, sleep, and more. What's in the air you breathe? Find out with AirThings.
Wow! For one split second, the position completely turned. Oh well, I don't see a move, but Freddy does see a move, because bishop takes b3. Who is the gentleman or lady under that mummy mask? Whew. What a game.
The Aimchess Retry Mistakes lesson shows you positions from your own games where you made a mistake, and gives you the opportunity to make a better move, and learn from your own positions. Aimchess analysis boards let you take an opening position you don't recognize, and instantly find videos featuring that position from some of your favorite chess content creators. Aimchess breaks down your games by the opening, and tells you how you're scoring after the first 15 moves, so you can quickly learn which openings work for you, and which you need to practice more.
Welcome. We're into game 3 of the final of, well, day 2 of the final of the Aimchess Rapid. And Shahriar Mamedyarov has made a remarkable recovery. He has won the first 2 games absolutely spectacularly. Simon, I think, you know, we've just been blown away by Shaq's form today.
He's been very impressive. I mean, you know, you have to say Duda's given him a chance to shine more than maybe he should have. But when Mamedyarov's got the position, you know, he's done brilliantly when he's got the positions that he's got, you know, putting, you know, causing problems. And that last game was just tremendous.
So the big question is, can Duda hit back? He's got white. Interesting to see how he handles this one, whether he... you know, how aggressively he plays. Obviously, Duda now in a must-win situation. Shaq just needs a draw to take this second set, and he's gone with e4, which I think is a declaration of intent.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, Shaq just needs to get a draw. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how the opening goes here. Will it be, okay, bishop c4, stops any of that Berlin rubbish. And we're now, okay, we're getting... You might know this better than me, Danny. I don't know this so well.
Well, I mean, this is just really old stuff. Now, after the check, is he going to play this trendy line with knight d2? He's gone bishop d2. Do you know what? Is he just going to go for a quick draw and just say, right, let's just cut and run. Let's just, I mean, surely not. I mean, this is basically a drawing line. He's going to, Duda's going to go for it. He's going to force a draw and just go into the playoff.
Really?
That is incredible.
Well, Danny, that's great news for us.
You're looking for an early night.
It means I might better have an extra beer tonight. But, you know, why though? Why do that? I mean, there's a lot of money at stake. Why not give yourself a chance? Yeah. I mean, I don't know many players who would have done that, Danny.
So basically, Duda has, in effect, with that draw, resigned the second set. He's given it to Mamedyarov on a plate. He's probably just thinking, okay, I want to conserve my energy. I'm not going to struggle. He's doing a Magnus. Magnus has done this. I mean, I'm thinking of the World Championship matches. Just he's cutting straight to the playoff. And I mean, Duda is a very, very good blitz player. Probably a better blitz player than Mamedyarov, actually.
Oh, definitely, Danny. I mean, like Mamedyarov said this himself, that especially online, that Mamedyarov has mentioned, he doesn't play as that much blitz online. He's a little bit slow with the mouse. And this is kind of shown in some of the quicker time limits. On the other hand, Duda's had plenty more experience. So in some ways, that certainly favors Duda. But the way mentally things have gone today, Mamajarov's big favorites. He can be very confident. Duda's, as we've seen, just said, right, okay, I can't be dealing with this anymore. So I think it's going to be very interesting now, the next stage of this match.
I've just looked up on the live rating list what their blitz ratings are.
Yeah.
Now, Duda's blitz rating is 27.79. Mamajarov's blitz rating is 27.34. So a 50-point drop, Mamajarov. So Duda, 50 point? I can't add up. 40, hang on, 45. Yeah, Duda 27.79, Mamajarov 27.34. So that's actually quite significant. So I think that's clearly the reason that Duda has just gone, right, I'm not going to bother anymore. Getting a half point for Mamajarov in these last two games, he's probably going to do it. If not in game 3, then probably in game 4 with white. And instead, Duda's saying, okay, my best chance is blitz games. I'm going to win the playoff. So yeah, let's just have a quick recap of the rules, actually. We have 2 blitz games. Simon, you read them out because I can't actually, my screen is very small. Can you see
so
that?
there's two blitz games coming up, and the time limit is 5 minutes plus 3 seconds of move, so there's still increment. And they obviously play 1 game of white, 1 game of black. If someone's won 2-0 or 1.5-1/2, then that's it. The final is over. If it's 1-1, it goes to Armageddon. And one big mistake I've made before, Danny, in Armageddon, and I've played a couple, well, one of these, is that it just goes down to, you don't get any increment, but we have to get to that stage first. So the 2 blitz games important, first of all.
Yeah.
And I think we're being told now that Duda gets to pick what color he gets in the first game. And I mean, what would you go for, Danny? I mean, like, obviously it's better to be white. Do you play your strongest card first, or do you save it?
I mean, I think in the blitz games, as the colors swap anyway, I don't think it makes that much difference.
I mean, I would be, if I had the choice, okay, well, Duda's pick black. I mean, if you get off to a great start and you win the first game, at least you know that you can draw it out, right? So it's obviously a big thing, but maybe it doesn't make much difference. And I'm a bit surprised he picked black, but yeah, it's going to be very exciting.
I don't think it makes that much odds. I mean, I think when it comes to the Armageddon, which color you pick, whether you're just playing for the draw or whether you're in a must-win, I mean, that's obviously really significant. But okay, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Yeah, very interesting. So does this mean we've got another 15-minute break?
No, not that long. We've actually apparently, because they really tired themselves out in that last one, right? I think we've only got about 5 minutes until it starts, and then we probably 4 minutes now, and we don't get much of then it's just full on. So there's no real breaks after that because they're just whacking out the game. So
yeah. Oh well, listen, let's just keep on keeping on for a bit. So
okay,
yeah, really interesting. I mean, Duda's my favorite just because he's got a better blitz record basically. But we've seen Shaq is on form today.
Yeah, certainly, and it kind of depends if Duda can overcome the problems you have mentally. I say the problems you have mentally. That's maybe a bit dramatic, but in the last game, it was such a weird opening choice to go for. It's not the last game. We forget about the draw, but the game where he got crushed by Mamajarov, he went straight into Mamajarov's hands. And I think what Duda's got to avoid doing is giving Mamajarov the initiative. Play a little bit, the way he won yesterday, just keep things a bit more under control. I think if he's able to do that and get back to that kind of way of playing, then Duda is the favourite. But all to play for, Danny.
In a way, that first game, I thought actually it was Duda at his best. The only problem is that he didn't just put it away when he'd reached the winning position. So this early middle game, very, very tense, but Duda obviously negotiated it much better. And by this stage, in fact, we couldn't really see a good move for black. And this is where Shaq looks like he's losing a piece, but he simply sacked his queen. But at this point, basically, Duda's done everything right. He's a queen for a rook up, and it's here that he didn't put it away. If he'd put this game away, it would just be a completely different story. So, he's done everything right in this game. This is obviously where it turned, and Shaq winning that first game in spectacular fashion. That's just upset him completely. And
I think also all credit to Shaq, who realized his position was probably very dubious, losing in the first game, but he took his chances. And this is something that all good players do. That when things start to go against them, rather than just like fade away and not put up any challenge, like literally don't put up a fight. The best way to do it is just to, like an animal backed in the corner. You in chess, you try to complicate it. You at least give your opponent chances to go wrong. And that's what he did in this game. He gave Duda chances to go wrong, and Duda did go wrong. So I think, credit to Shaq for doing what Shaq does right in this game to get those chances.
This was absolutely brilliant. Yeah. But it's here where Duda, he was, by this stage, he was running a little bit short of time, wasn't he? And I think that's the thing. In this kind of position, in a classical game, you'd invest 10, 15 minutes. Basically, you would just calculate it. You would make sure you get everything right and just finish the game off. You mentioned this idea with C5, which looked very convincing. I like that, but it did need a bit of calculation. You have to check, is this move working? Still very, very tricky. But Duda was basically played a few moves that looked natural. He didn't actually calculate. And once G6 came, such a clever move, then it is really unclear. So that was the first game.
Do you know the things I like, Danny, about Mamedyarev's playing? I'm lyrically waxing him today as we were Duda yesterday, is how calm Mamedyarev's been in the midst of chaos. Like that last game, he was a queen down and he plays G6. I was only looking at B2. In the second game, he was, he was attacking viciously. He plays King H1. It's that understanding that you have time to play these slower moves, even in the midst of a, absolute storm. That impressed me so much about his play today.
Yeah, definitely. An absolute class act. This is a few years ago. I was doing some training for the Austrian Chess Federation. It's a long story, but and Mamedyarov was actually he'd been brought in as well, and he had played a match against Austria's top player, Marcus Rager. I'm sure you know Marcus.
Yeah, I played him before. Yeah.
So they had a serious classical match over, I can't remember, maybe 6 games. And then afterwards, Mamedyarov stuck around and I think, was helping Raga with, training and advice and stuff. And, they were in the Austrian Federation building and, they were kind of relaxing a bit. And basically Mamedyarov took on, some of the Austrian team in Blitz and was playing, 5 minutes against 1 minute. So basically Shaq had to play bullet chess. Yeah. And it was just sensational. So we've just said, oh, well, Duda's got the edge in Blitz. Shaq was having an absolute ball. And it was just a laugh.
Danny, I've seen exactly the same. I saw famous Blitz player Manuel Bosboom from as you know, from Amsterdam. And Bosboom, who's beaten Kasparov in a blitz game. He's a real hustler. He was playing at Gibraltar in the bar, Shaq, and Shaq was taking something ridiculous like 30 seconds to Manuel's 3 or 5 minutes. So Shaq would have 30 seconds of the whole game.
Right.
And they were playing for a little bit of cash, and he was just crushing Bosboom. So over the board, you know, his ability to move is incredible. I don't think he's quite as confident when he's got the mouse for whatever reason, but he is obviously a vicious blitz player. You know, when he's attacking, and he's really strong to face. But I mean, Bosboom's a real character as well. I don't know if anyone out there knows Manuel Bosboom, but yeah, you know, many interesting characters in the chess world, Danny.
yeah. I remember. Well, you know, I've played a few tournaments with him. Yeah. Nice guy. So we should be kicking off any moment. I don't know. Let me see. Duda's a bit late, apparently. Let me see. We were due to kick off about 2 minutes ago, but I don't know. Do you know what the rules are? If one of them's a bit late turning up, do they? Surely they don't start the clock, do they?
No, I think they actually wait. It was a bit strange because I remember Magnus was turning up late quite regularly for one of the overboard events. Okay, we're off now, Danny. Anyway, Shaq with the white pieces.
Here we go. 2 blitz games, 5 minutes on the clock, 3 seconds. Increments.
G4. Play G4. Oh, no, he didn't. Okay.
Oh, back to the good old Ragozin.
Yeah. Well, is Duda repeating the same variation? Really?
No, he's gone C5. He didn't play B5.
Okay. Our C5 is maybe the Vienna. This is the main line Vienna. Yeah.
This is a bit more solid.
Yeah.
Dude, we're not seeing Duda. He's a bit shy.
Okay.
Surely we have to. I don't know what. Again, I don't know the rules. Surely they have to be on camera these days.
Yeah, I think part of the contract is they're supposed to be on camera, but obviously you do get issues with internet where they get a bit of leeway, basically.
Okay.
So he probably should be getting his camera ready as we speak. This, by the way, on the board, this is all theory. This is the one of the mainline Vienna variations, which I think it's fair to say has supposed to be even, but it does look very complicated and messy. And I think H4 at some point, always a good move, Danny, as we know. It is one of the moves you can play here, but again, I'm not aware of the actual theoretical way this should continue.
Do you know, I'm really surprised that Duda has entered into a line like this, because, you know, we know that this has a decent theoretical reputation for black, but it's a messy position. This is surely exactly what Shaq wants. So he didn't go for H4, so he's giving his king just a nice safe square there. Now what?
I mean, do you keep the bishops or do you exchange the bishops? Again, this must be theory. I agree with you. The only reason that I said this when Duda got crushed, but you'd play this line as black, is if you've done a lot of work on the variation and you're very confident. And it does still show that Duda's in a confident mood, which is good for Duda fans, because he wouldn't have gone for this otherwise. He'd have picked something a lot more solid. Well, Rook B1 makes a lot of sense because B7 is weak, so you're lining up against that pawn, defending things. And if White can bring his other rook into the game, I really like it. I really like his chances. And this does seem like a Mamedyarov position, as you're saying, Danny.
Yeah, I'm looking at King G2, Rook E1, Knight F5 check, game on. And if I can send the queen over there, then it's practically mate.
Yeah, I suppose there's one little tic tac here. If King G2, you might be able to take on B5 first, and black is actually a pawn up at the moment and would be a pawn up in an ending there. So like Rook takes B5, Queen takes. So this should be.
Can we do that?
Even this
one? No, yeah.
No, take
not that one. Yeah.
Take the Rook first, I think. Yes. Yeah.
I was just blundering pieces.
And we get an ending where black is certainly favourite. Obviously Mamedyarov doesn't go for this. He plays a very logical move, Danny.
I like it. Queen H5, on with the job. King here, Rook E1. we're almost ready to play knight f5. Give me 3 moves and we're in.
Now I'm going to quickly check. I'm just trying to get up to date with the moves, whether we have departed from our...
What's the oracle say? The oracle that is G-chess.
Well, I've got to load up the moves, and then we will bring on the oracle and see. I'm a little bit slow at putting the moves in, but I will get there.
Queen b6. So that's actually a bit annoying for white because it hits the knight and also covers the c5 square, so stops queen c5 possibilities. Yeah, if white could flick the rook into d1 to cover the knight, that would be good. But white is basically 1 tempo behind.
By the way, it does seem that g3 is a very rare move, just to let you know. And we have gone out of theory. Well, really? G3 is a really rare move. G3 has only been played once, I think, in games. Mamedyarov has played this position a lot of times, but his G3 move, which looks very logical, is a very rare move, and I think we're basically into uncharted territory now.
Okay. Bishop c6. Now, I quite like that. At the moment, there's a pin here. And if king g2, I think he's going to whip that off. That looks very annoying with obviously the bishop opposite the king. And if you, well, then he's played it anyway. So what happens on this one?
Wow. I mean,
that would concern me.
Bishop d3, maybe?
Bishop d3. Yeah, queen here.
Okay, but now
you can take and maybe just go rook here. Yeah, interesting.
Queen c5s as well are very frustrating in a lot of positions. So
he's taken it. Game on. I like bishop d3.
Bishop d3 looks very logical to me. I mean, then rook takes d3.
Oh,
rook takes d3 and black is winning, I think.
Bishop e8. What is Shaq doing? What is he doing? Bishop g6.
Wow.
Has he overlooked that one? I think he's overlooked bishop g6. Let's just explain what was going on. So this opened up the rook's line, and if that's taken, then suddenly it's a Shaq attack. But instead, Duda very quickly, he's obviously anticipated it. He's played bishop g6, attacking the queen, covering this one. Oof.
Wow. Incredible move, bishop e8, but I don't think it's working.
Well, I mean, if the queen moves back, then you can just come back and take.
I think Shaq has been tricked. I think Duda, his brave opening, which we were saying is playing into Shaq hands, has actually paid off very well. I mean, it looks like he's very good chance to win with the black pieces here. I mean, I think this bishop g6 was a move that Shaq just missed, as you pointed out, Danny. And he's resigned. He's simply resigned. There's nothing to be done here. So, at this rate, Danny, I think we're going to get a fair. Well, I'm going to get more beers than I had planned in than on this Friday.
Yeah, could be. I thought we were in for the long haul. But...
Yeah. I mean, Danny, can we go back one move? I mean, like if we go back to this bishop e8, which was a really, very interesting try. I mean, I mentioned bishop d3, but I think this loses to rook takes d3, which I originally missed because now there's a bishop takes f3 check. Oh, I don't know, because the rook b7 at the end. What is happening here?
Rook b7, and then you take here. Let's do this slowly.
Yeah. I mean, I really want to play bishop d3, Danny. This is the move that, if it works, white could be doing very well.
What about if... Yeah, but wait a second. We can take and then just take here. What are we talking about? This is this is simple, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry, missed this. Just simply take that.
No. I mean, this is...
Over.
So actually, if bishop d3 isn't working, then this is problematic. So probably I've got to do that.
And just
then
play...
white carries on, but
yeah, very murky position. This isn't it? I mean, Shaq's g3 that was played is a new idea, but maybe it just doesn't work. It's a bit surprising because Shaq has played this opening, according to the database, looking at multiple times these variations. So he must have just missed something, I think, at some point.
Okay, well, let's just continue this. I mean, I suppose
Yeah.
knight c6. Now this starts to look very awkward.
Yeah. You might even be threatening to take on f3. I mean, rook e1, bishop takes f3 is a simple move.
Yeah.
And if you have to play rook takes f3, white's pieces are just not coordinating. It doesn't seem either, does it? Here, I mean,
yeah. I mean, it looks lost, doesn't it? Actually?
What is a okay? You know what move I was going to recommend here, Danny?
Rook e6. Of course,
but it's check.
It is check. That's unfortunate. Can't get it in time. Yeah,
no, can't get it in time.
So it's looking also in this position. What looks like a better move?
Well, let's have a look. So after bishop d7, can you just? I'm going to whack it on the computer because.
Okay, what about rook? Let's attack the bishop. What about rook? Either rook e1 or rook b4.
Rook here.
Okay, let's go rook b4. Hit that one. What's the machine say?
Just trying to get the position. Okay, well, actually, after bishop takes e4, white has just lost, according to the computer.
Yeah, actually, I'm just looking at this because actually, because the rook is undefended, actually, it's possible to play, I think, just take and a6.
Yeah.
And the pin is winning. So yeah, this does look rubbish. So
can I just, after rook b3 is an even stronger move for black, which is quite nice. Rook d2 is actually a very nice move. Because of that, yeah. Easy move to miss.
Just taking over. So
yeah,
basically Shaq has gone wrong already here.
He's gone wrong. Yeah, something has gone wrong before this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. So that means that Duda just needs a draw in this second blitz game.
Yeah.
And he's won the title. And prize money. Let's have a quick look at the prize money, actually. I think, is it 25 or 20? I can't remember.
It's good money. That's all I know. I don't know exactly what the prize money is.
It's decent. It's either 25 or 20. I think second is 15.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's a difference of $10,000. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And yeah, I mean, this is such a great event. The whole Champions Tour. I mean, the money they've managed to generate is fantastic from the sponsorship, and it's good that we've got so many top players now competing in this on a regular basis, and so many interesting players. The next game looks like it's due to start. We've got Duda's camera back now, Danny, which I think is a good thing. That's nice to have his camera going as well.
We want to, yeah. I mean, everything's got to be above board, as we know these days.
It certainly does. I mean, okay, we have a move, but Danny, I mean, I was playing very quickly a tournament over the board recently. I had to withdraw because of the old COVID, as you know, but. You couldn't even take your pen. You can't take your pens into the playing hall now. You know, it's
really?
like you can't. Yeah, you can't take your. I just had a biro, but I wasn't allowed to take it in. Everything is so strict.
To be fair, very suspicious. Was it a Bic? What kind of biro was it?
It was your sort of 20p Bic that I wasn't allowed to take in. You know,
suspicious.
Suspicious Bic. That's it. It was a bit strange.
Oh golly.
Yeah.
So they basically provided
their own pens. Yeah, their own pens. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if Shaq is realizing that Duda's actually played a move here. It's a bit peculiar because we have knight to f3 on the board, and let's remember that Duda, with the white pieces, only needs a draw to win the whole thing. But why have we not got it? I mean, Shaq's clock is not working either, Danny. Maybe there's a bit of a technical issue.
It must be a technical issue, yeah, because I can't see the clock there.
Yeah.
Shaq appears to be messaging. Well, I don't know. Okay, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah.
Just a reminder for those perhaps just joining us that we're in the Blitz playoff. Shahriar Mamedyarov convincingly won the second set, 2.5-half, and now we're into the second Blitz game. Mamedyarov in a must-win situation. Okay, Mamedyarov is confused. He's obviously asking for assistance because he doesn't seem to be able to play a move after knight f3. He's been stunned by knight f3, or the technology has been. So yeah, a quick recap of the scores. Duda has won the first Blitz game, so Mamedyarov in a must-win situation to take it through to an Armageddon game. Hopefully we're going to resolve these tech issues as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'm sure these things obviously happen occasionally with the old online events. But we hopefully get over it soon. Danny, I mean, what would you play if you needed to win with black against knight f3? Because knight f3 has this, a lot of people I know, when they're playing with the black pieces, even very strong players, international masters, they if their opponent plays knight f3, they get very annoyed because they find it hard to generate excitement in the position. And knight f3 is a very sort of tricky move against a lot of systems, because you can't get your Benkos, your Benonis. If you rely on these kind of systems, it's frustrating, right?
Yeah, I mean, I always like to dabble with some b6 nonsense. So in fact, directly in this position.
Oh, really? Right. Okay. Interesting.
Inviting e4. And then actually, I've played this kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
Just tempting the pawn forward and actually, game on. It's actually quite an interesting position.
It's very similar to 1b3, this line, actually, like 1b3.
Yeah.
You play a similar kind of idea, making the bishop very, very strong, black's light square bishop. So
there's that. I mean, one can also play e6 in this position, because actually after d4, again, because the knight is on c3, then this is actually a playable variation for black. I think
I have to admit, Danny, one of my favorite books that I got, which helped me a lot as a youngster, was The English Defense. And some great author wrote this book. I'm sure the name will come to me. Loads of very exciting ideas with this b6 and e6 stuff, which was it's called The English Defense because a lot of English players, as you know, Danny, used to play it. Going back to Raymond Keane, Spielman, Tony Miles, of course.
Well, Tony was I think Tony and John Spielman actually. And basically I copied them, frankly. And I played it after them. And
can you remember you beat me with this in this position? You beat me. Yeah, you did. Yeah, Lloyd's Bank.
I'd forgotten that.
Yeah.
I mean, I always felt that it's just a way of just getting a really interesting sort of novel position on the board.
We got the game on. Sorry, Danny.
The game on. So to cut a short story long, knight f3, b6 was always my sort of randomizer, and actually it worked pretty well. I mean, not necessarily in terms of results, but always got an interesting position on the board.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, b6 systems are a bit underrated, I think. I'm surprised that Shaq has gone for a symmetrical English, because the symmetrical English in general is a slow positional game.
I suspect he's going to go e5.
I think he has to break the symmetrical nature, right, and go for the Botvinnik system with e5 here. I agree. Yeah.
Well, that's what I punt. He's having a think here, though. Knight h6. What on earth is that about?
Well, it is.
Is this where you go d4?
I don't know, but d4 looks interesting. Obviously, I was going to play h4 there, as I'm sure you're aware, which is not so stupid either. I think
he's gone d3. Yeah, absolutely. One could absolutely h4, very respectable. I would even say.
I mean,
but seriously, I think
h4 now. Surely,
I think d4 is actually legal, because after this, you can do this, and actually, this is quite a solid position for white. Anyway, that's another story. This is the actual game. It's a blitz game, folks. We haven't got that much time to analyze it. But this is very sensible, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Duda doesn't need to overcomplicate things. I mean, he only needs to draw to take the whole title. So he's keeping it very sensible. And both sides now getting ready to play b4 and b5 in this position. I mean, you could go b4 here, maybe, with the same idea you mentioned. Well, I've got h6 on, haven't
exactly.
I? So,
yeah. I was just marking it out. Yeah, so b4 is actually legal.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, just about.
No, definitely.
Not such a silly move. And this is the kind of standard break in the English you play, and he's actually played it.
Yeah. No, I think this looks very sensible. I mean, I think Duda, he's just keeping things under control. You know, when you do your fianchetto, it's super solid, isn't it?
Yeah. But now there is a threat to White's knight because Black's knight has moved away from the attack. So White's got to be aware of that, and he simply defends it down. I think it's going to be very hard to win this position, isn't it, as Black? Because after pawn takes pawn, you've got a symmetrical position. I mean, whose pieces are better? I mean, is Mamedyarov trying to claim that his knight is a bit more active? I'm not convinced.
Yeah, e3, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I remember dabbling with this kind of knight h6 stuff.
Yeah.
But I was never really convinced. For all kinds of reasons. I mean, your h4, h5, I think really sensible.
Yeah.
But the way the Duda's done it, just keeping it very simple. Now, d5 has come. So if Black can get in d4, then I think that's certainly something. Okay, big question.
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to play knight d6, but I realized I'm dropping a pawn.
Yeah.
Because knight d6 to c4 would be, again, better for Black. That knight, the Black knight's heading to a beautiful square, but I can't play that. But if I just play e6, could I be claiming my knight on f5 is better than your knight on f3, and I'm going to put that knight on that square we've mentioned?
Yeah, but okay, what if I do the same? I mean,
okay, but yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing much here. So
yeah. Okay, queen e2 played instead. All right, so what happens on d4?
Very good question.
Well, isn't that something?
Well, it's something, yeah. I mean, that
looks a bit annoying to me.
Knight e4, is that the trying to get to that square we've highlighted? I mean, Mamedyarov did not play that.
He didn't do that.
No,
I'm actually surprised because that would, at least it would sort of disturb the position a bit. Mamedyarov playing very quickly, 4 minutes against Duda's, well, just under 3.
Yeah. Still seems fairly even. I mean, like, you know, it's Black's got a little bit more space for the pawns, but there's nothing really happening or to report at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Black, that's quite nice. I mean, I'm coming back to this d4 move if he wants to play very solidly. And
yeah,
I mean, can Black really claim something here? I don't know. It looks pretty level to me.
Yeah, it must
I think it'd be very hard. Yeah. I mean, d4. I think in Duda's situation, I'd be very tempted to play that. Yeah. I have to say.
The thing is, in these symmetrical positions, you know, without a pawn break, it's very hard. He's played rook c2 and rook e8. So now the bishop is trying to reroute to possibly, I guess, with this rook e8 move.
Maybe. I mean, Mamedyarov did it very quickly. He's now got a 2-minute time advantage.
Yeah.
Knight a2. Okay, this looks too weird for words. Oh, I see. He's doing this. That's what he's doing.
Okay.
Rook a8. But it feels it's a bit slow. Well, maybe. If he gets it there, then he's going to be a happy bunny.
So is a key square for the white knight, and because Duda hasn't moved his d pawn, he doesn't have the same weakness. So certainly, I mean, there's certainly a lot of play left in the position with Duda now getting short time, and of course now he moves that one. It's completely going against what I was saying. So why can't Black just move the knight in?
He's done it. Those moves happen very quickly. Still a 2-minute time advantage. 3:55 Mamedyarov, 1:48.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid. Yeah, I think Duda's going to get in knight d3. Ah, rook a4. Okay, is that something? I still don't believe it. I think Duda's got it under control, but well, we'll see. Queen a8.
I mean, the position is certainly fairly even, but all the pieces are remaining on the board. So there's and Mamedyarov can't take a draw. He's got to win. So, it is obviously game on. Queen a8 looks very, very obvious. And if anyone's better, I would say black, because his pieces, his knight and his rook seem better placed. When you have a symmetrical structure, it's all about who has the more active pieces. And maybe I'd pick black slightly here. Slightly. Not much. Very slightly.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe you just support the rook and you're still going, excuse me, you're still going knight c5. Okay. Again, knight c5, I'm going to be like a stuck record now. It just feels super solid.
I think, okay,
this is on the board. This is on the board.
I think he has to do this to change the structure, make it unsymmetrical, make it unbalanced in order to get winning chances.
I guess so. But, giving up that dark squared bishop feels like it's a massive risk. Yeah. D takes, that's interesting. He's probably just thinking of bishop c3 and, yeah, here we go, basically.
Yeah.
On the dark squares. So Duda didn't need to do that. He could have recaptured with the b pawn, but, it does feel very natural. E5 now?
Using a bit of time. Yeah, E5, or you can try to take over the A file, which he's done.
Oh, that's better. Yeah, because actually in this position, I think there was a threat to take and play B5, so that's why he's done this. And rook A4.
And, the open file that now Shak has got must count for something. Knight D4 seems like a good move, targeting black's pawn on the B file as well. Which black has to go a little bit passive to defend, so he's defended that with his queen.
Yeah, but what do you,
Queen D1.
Feels like Mamedyarov has actually got somewhere now. I'm surprised after knight D4, actually, that he didn't take, in this position, here, because he just can blockade on C6 and just take the open file.
Come over, yeah.
Well, anyway, listen, analysing blitz games is a bit...
It's very hard.
Yeah.
It's heating up now. E5 coming through the center.
We've definitely got a game on our hands. This is very interesting. Now, what about just moving the knight back here? Because then isn't D5 looking a bit creaky?
Certainly.
I'm expecting knight E2 here. E5. Yeah, he's gone knight E2. That looks a bit... Oh, bishop F5.
Okay. Mamedyarov's got to keep up the activity of his pieces here. So the rook has got out of that threat. And now I like this idea. This is a really clever idea. If you can get rid of the light square bishops. Oh, hang on a minute. Has he blundered? He might have just blundered, Danny.
Oh, and then pawn takes and the rook is hanging. Yeah. He's overlooked it.
Look at the video.
Oh,
Mamedyarov realizes he blundered. And he's resigned.
He's resigned. So the winner of the Aimchess Rapid 2022 is Jan-Krzysztof Duda. There we go. Convincing in the blitz.
Very convincing in the blitz. Quite frustrating for Mamedyarov if you're a Mamedyarov fan, because he played so well in the Rapid games, and he was really vicious. But Duda was a bit of a better class, wasn't he, in the blitz there, Danny?
Definitely. Well, and basically it went to form. It went to form in the blitz. We know that Duda has a better blitz record, and it definitely went to form there. So, yeah, Jan-Krzysztof Duda, the winner of the tournament, and wins $25,000, which is not a bad payday for a week's work. And Mamedyarov gets $15,000. Well, he can console himself with that one anyway. So there we go. I think we've got the standings there at the end. That's the overall tour standings. So far in this Meltwater Champions Chess Tour, Magnus Carlsen, well, he's the winner already. Well, that's not a little not a little payday again for Carlsen. $192,500.
We helped towards some legal costs.
Ooh, controversial.
Oh, wow. I'm joking.
There we go. The winner of the overall tour is Magnus Carlsen. Actually, looking at those overall tour standings, I didn't realize that Prague had come out so well, actually. Doing incredibly well in third position. Maybe we'll get back to those standings to say. Oh, these are the qualifiers for the final tournament, actually. Yeah, there we go. So Duda actually in second position in the overall standings. Prague in third. I didn't realize he'd done so well.
He's done really well, Danny. I mean, he's beaten Magnus on a lot of occasions. He's got a real plus score against him in some of the previous events. So he's done brilliantly. And I mean, even though Magnus has won the whole thing, there is one more of this year of the Champions Tour events to go. And the next one's going to be a very special one because some of the players are playing live over in San Francisco.
Oh, are you heading over? Are you heading over there?
No, unfortunately not. I might be over in Norway commentating with the studio there, but I'd love to go to San Francisco, Danny. I mean, it would be, obviously liking the Doors and seeing,
of course,
seeing where they originally came from would be fantastic. But it's still going to be a great next event, which is not that long away. It's only in November now, isn't it? I think so.
Right. Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, San Francisco, an amazing city. I've been there a few times, actually. There used to be San Francisco Tour final in November. But this has been a great event. I think today, actually, we've seen some brilliant games. I mean, I know Shaq got crushed in the Blitz, but actually, we've seen two fantastic rapid games from him today.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, very exciting chess. I mean, Duda was deserved winner in the end. You've got to feel a little bit sorry for Shaq after fighting back today, but both of these players have played fantastic throughout the whole event, and they kept us entertained as well. Yeah.
Good stuff. Right. I think we're going to wrap it up there. Just very quickly, a word about our sponsor here, Aimchess, who have a very interesting tech tool for improvement. Do check it out, Aimchess/try, and you can get 30% discount off. And it's very interesting tool for analyzing your own games using tech, and then it has targeted exercises. Do check it out. So Simon, it was a pleasure. Good to see you here. Good to commentate again. What's next for you apart from November? What else are you up to at the moment?
Yeah, well, it was a pleasure to commentate with you, Danny, as well. It's always fun, and next for me, well, next Friday, actually, next Saturday, I should say, I'm running a bit of a crazy event, closed event, and it's a blitz event in a crypt below a church with a licensed bar. Sounds like my kind of event, fancy dress, and it's going to be very, very, I think crazy is the only word to describe it. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a bit of fun. And Danny, yourself, anything else planned for you?
I'm going to go away this weekend to the delights of Birmingham. So
okay, I mean,
yeah,
I can think of places that Birmingham. What are you doing in Birmingham? Are you on holiday in Birmingham?
It's a great place. Seriously, it's a great place. Okay. We're meeting some friends there and having a weekend away. And there's actually a little matter of a football match on Sunday afternoon involving a team that I'm very keen on. Brentford Football Club. They're playing Aston Villa on the Sunday. So we're having a weekend away.
Good.
Bit of footy.
And a curry, I guess. You're going to get a curry in Birmingham?
I'm going to go for a curry.
Yeah.
Nice curry, nice beer, footy match on the Sunday. Sorted. There you go. That's my weekend lined up.
That sounds good.
That sounds good. Anyway, listen, Simon, it was a pleasure. And thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for your comments as well. It's been good fun. And see you folks soon. I think it's time to say goodbye.
Air quality isn't the first thing that comes to mind when you think about chess and esports, but it affects our focus, decision-making, health, sleep, and more. What's in the air you breathe? Find out with Air Things.
Wow! For one split second, the position completely turned. Oh well, I don't see a move, but Freddy does see a move because bishop takes b3. Who is the gentleman or lady under that mummy mask? Whew. What a